So you're going to be working with this mesh this week. This is from a character, his name's Billy. He was Billy the astronaut, Billy the space kid. He's from a rig that I did probably about 5 years ago. Just a generic kid in a spacesuit. And so since we only really need to worry about the head today, you only have to rig the head. Okay? Something so you can focus on pretty easily. Cool? So it's not like a full body or anything. So yay! That's what I want to hear. Anyway. So he's pretty standard. You'll see, decent topology on this guy. He has all the edge loops that we're looking for. He's got some eyes. He's got some teeth in here. And he's got a hair cap. And that's really about it for him. The finished rig, and honestly I don't really remember how finished this thing ended up being. Not terribly finished, but you'll see what I'm kind of looking for is we need some controllers to control the head, the mouth, and we have all these different joints right here which are going to give us localized deformer joints, so we can bring the cheeks up, bring the brow down. We can make him angry, happy, sad, whatever. We're basically just trying to get a range of emotions out of him. We also can make him blink. We can make him smile. We can do all sorts of things. And one of the reasons why is because we have this GUI right here, this GUI, which is this little interface that you guys will create that will run blend shapes. And so blend shapes, like I said, are ways for us to get kind of specific deformations on a character. And so for him, you may want to be able to make a character smile really, really easily. I don't think I did on that side. But so we can make him smile, we can make him frown, we can make him have a narrow mouth or a wide mouth. And so that's what you guys need to do, is you're going to be making blend shapes that will allow this character to smile, frown, have a wide mouth like that, or have what would be a narrow or a smooch. So you bring the lips together like that. That's going to be kind of the basics of what you need for a character to be able to talk. Who's been through character animation or is in it right now? Okay. Have you guys done lip syncing yet with character rigs?
That's what we're doing right now.
All right. So I'm assuming Glasscock has probably talked about phonemes, right?
What?
Oh, God.
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Has she talked about mouth shapes in order to make certain words?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what they are?
Not all, but I know puckers are for N's, and there's another for D shapes, but D's and vowels are all kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
They all pretty much look the exact same.
Exactly. So you're right. So phonemes are basically shapes that the lips make in order to make words. It's kind of like the alphabet, but for your lips. Now, if you go through different word sounds, it's not necessarily alphabet like A, B, C, D. It's A, B, F, D, K, M. The different shapes that your lips make, each one of those could be a blend shape that you will make so that the lips can easily go to ma, 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 fa, 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 da, 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 ka, 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 ka. You can make each one of these words really, really quickly without having to rearrange the entire face. So you can just, boom, hit lip syncing really, really fast. Okay? Now, when I keep saying the word blend shape, do I have the blend shape group? Yes. Each one of these is a blend shape. This is a copy of the head that is basically just a duplicate that I then go in and sculpt to give me a desired shape. So you got a smile, an eye closed, a kind of a sad expression for the eye. This is my angry eyes, a frown, a wide, and then the smooch. All right? So each one of these is just a copy. That's all it is. And we can go in there with a soft select and pull them off and just sculpt however we need. Now you'll notice that I have 2 of each. Anyone want to take a wild guess why I might have 2 of each? No, I have 2 of each expression that's identical. Yep, left and right. So the way that I like to rig, I like to have controllability over the left side and right side of my face. Okay? You can do a blend shape that'll just give you a smile. But usually our smiles are not going to be symmetrical all the time. Like that right there. Just give me that expression you just gave me. You're doing like this. Yeah. See, from what I can see, the corner of the right side of your mouth is being pulled out further than the left side. So you're kind of doing like this. That's not symmetrical. So if I have a narrow and a wide, but then I have them divided up from left to right, then I can kind of like push the face over here and get that expression. Gives you a much wider range than would be if you just had like robotic expression 1, 2, and 3. All right.
Or like if he's looking to the side, you can like move the mouth kind of to like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Almost feels like you're doing stop motion where they have like clay enamel in the corner.
Yeah, it's the same type of thought. If you guys ever want to do like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, you know, he always does like that, like the one eyebrow up and the one eyebrow down. So then you could do that with your expressions. So let's go and get started. And obviously this will be due next Monday. Okay. All right. What do I do? What do I do first? What's the first thing I do for every rig? All right. So I'm gonna go to File. Actually, no. Edit. Delete all by type. Then what? I just did that. Okay. So, head 1, is that a good name? Billy Head Geo. That'll work. Someone saying something about his ears? Josh, you saying something? Usually like Billy Ears, Billy Big Ears. Look, the kid's got enough problems as it is. He's has no body. Literally has no body. Nobody loves him.
He's those heads in the jars from Futurama.
Oh Lord. All right, left eye, right eye. Hair. What do we got? Teeth upper. But they're not just teeth upper, they're Billy teeth upper. Not Biley, it's Billy.
So would this be like how we should probably work on our face rigs? We just kind of like separate the head from the rest of the body? And,
No, I'm just trying to make it simple for you guys. A lot of my characters that have like skin or have like clothing on, usually I will have like no like there's no literal like skin body underneath if I don't need it. So they may just literally have just like 4 arms and like feet and a head sticking out of, you know, the clothing. So, but this kind of this goes back to my methodology of like trying to keep everything modular, and so you can hook in and hook things out like really easily. So this way we would have what kind of constitute as like a root for the neck, which really would just be something that would attach to like the spine upper joint. And then the controllers for like the neck would be FK parented under the spine upper con. So that's how you would like just connect it in.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like plug in essentially.
Yeah, I mean it just hooks in. Like that's all it is.
It's like taking apart action figures.
Exactly. Did you piss off your brothers when you just tore apart their action figures when you were a kid?
I actually did.
Yeah.
Well, I still have one of the Ninja Turtles. He has the zombie one, and I have his arm ripped off.
I was Sid from Toy Story when I was a child.
Oh no.
Like I would tear shit apart, but like and then like put it back together,
Oh,
like different combinations.
Terrified me. 'Cause
I really enjoyed that.
I
thought
had
you
Buzz
liked the
Lightyear
little
action
boys.
figure.
No, God, no.
That terrified me.
No, they were my friends. I'm not a monster.
I think my favorite toys are the Gundams.
Dude, they're coming back out.
No,
Yeah.
I have
Like you remember like all the Gundam action figures that came out like back in like the 2000s?
I have a lot of them.
They have like a whole bunch over like at Walgreens. I saw them yesterday. I got all excited.
I want to see a Gundam
On
live
clearance or just there?
They're like $20.
Be expensive as hell.
It's not bad at all. No, I mean, I was all into Gundam when I was younger.
I like the Zatu, the green with the kind of darkish green one.
Mm-hmm.
I like when everyone's that yellow shiny figure.
No, I don't prefer green and brown. No.
All right, so that's Billy Geo Group. What's this one going to be called?
Character, Billy character group.
Char, Char.
And you grouped the geo group filter, so you made two groups.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to have my other groups in there also.
We don't need stuff like placement cons and root cons for this, right? Just whatever.
So what's going to be effectively my root con is going to be like neck base con. Okay. Yeah, no, when I saw that in Walgreens, I got kind of excited. I was like, oh my God, that's cool. It's like, that's
Well,
awesome.
You can buy them like as guys, like for your kid. Like buy them from his.
I'm actually kind of excited to like see what he thinks of Gundam when he's old enough.
What if he thinks it's dumb?
I mean, that's fine. He can think it's dumb. Let's be honest, the anime sucks.
Yeah.
The anime, like,
It depends on the Gundam.
most of the animes, like, are not good, but
I like
the
that.
robot stuff is awesome.
But I mean, like, if he likes, I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll like, Transformers. Then you do something like way better than those.
Do you ever get into those nano things? Like they're like super small, tiny things of like, maybe like Star Wars or something like that.
The micro machines?
I guess. They're like.
Well, they had micro machines like the small ships and like the small
Yeah.
pilot. Yeah, I had a bunch of those. Yeah,
Like the power on.
'cause those were like the only spaceships that I could afford. I liked them a lot actually. They were fun.
I'm doing that with Dragon Ball Super right now. They're that smaller ones. Those are the most affordable ones.
It's kind of weird to see Dragon Ball like in stores.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, it's just kind of weird to me because I'm like, it's been around for like 30 years, 35 years.
Well, they not recently, but last year, the year before last, they came out with this new one called Super. Honestly, it was a pretty good anime. It has a really non-expected ending.
Dragon Ball Super blew up in like South America.
Really?
Yeah, you used to have like thousands of people, like our last episode, just like you have a giant screen and like people just watch.
Oh, dude, that last episode was good.
All right, so let's do some joints. So let's go ahead and make some joints in here. Create joints. So I'm going to start off with a neck base joint right here. I'm going to go ahead and put in a mid neck joint. And then this is going to be the head base joint or neck top joint, whatever you want to call it. Again, remember I said that I like to have like 3 joints in the neck so you can get some nice flexibility. This is what I'm talking about, okay? Then we're going to have, I'm going to have a head mid joint. This is going to kind of act as a null joint. This is going to be my attachment point for a lot of stuff, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and have a head tip joint right there.
Is that on the hair or the skull?
I mean, it's just kind of sticking up to the top of the head.
Okay.
All right, I need to go ahead and put in this is going to be my first jaw joint. Then I'm going to have a jaw pivot joint. So if you kind of like feel in your skull where your jaw pivots, it's kind of like actually under your ears, somewhere right about there. So I'm going to go and put in the jaw pivot. And then his chin joint will be right there. Actually, I'm just going to unparent. I don't really need this joint right here. So we're just going to do jaw pivot, jaw end. This guy is going to go under the head null joint. We'll do a nose base joint, then a nose tip joint. So if you need to like wiggle the nose, you can do that. And that's going to go under the nose, or the head null joint. And that'll be okay for now. We're going to add a lot more joints, but we'll just stick with this. Let's go ahead and start naming these. It's going to be Billy neck base joint. Billy neck mid joint. Billy neck top joint. Billy head null joint.
And if you wanted to make the ears floppy, put joints in there as well.
Yeah, you can. Billy jaw pivot joint. What's this one? Jaw tip joint. I'm gonna name this one Billy mid skull joint. It's not really gonna move or do anything, so I'm just this doesn't really need to be named anything too specific. Just so we know where it is. This one's gonna be Billy nose base joint. And this one will be Billy nose tip joint. Billy head tip joint. Okay. Any questions so far? Everybody good? Yes.
Could you expand your outline just a little bit?
Is that what you need?
Let's see.
You got the video.
I know, I'm following.
Why do you need to?
Following along with you.
Okay. But you got the video.
Thank you.
So we have a group here instead of like a root point for everything other, but I guess centrally.
Well, you're gonna have a joint group no matter what.
Oh,
As you should have a joint group, as you should have a geo group and a con group. Remember?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the lesson.
So, okay, but like, what would be the next parent of? So let's jump the gap here. What would the neck base joint be parented under? What would its direct hierarchical parent be? If we're just continuing along the joints, which spine? If this is the joint here, where do we go from here?
We have like a normal person.
Yeah, it's a person.
Yeah, top spine.
Okay, so it's going to go to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and do a eyeball joint. Okay. No, don't freeze your joints.
I mean, like trace it.
Oh, no, we're actually fine. Yeah, we're fine with what we're doing here. Nothing's too crazy. All right. So this eyeball is going to need to go into the middle of this mesh. So we're going to go ahead and position it as such. Actually, let's make sure though if this thing rotates, it actually is not going to like break. Okay, so we're good. All right, so if I want to get this joint here into the direct center of this eyeball mesh, what do I do?
Hold down V.
Mm-mm. It's not going to do it.
What is it?
So I need the joint that I just made, the eyeball joint, go into the direct center of the eyeball mesh. I did this before with Footloose. And actually I think I did it with Squidward.
Don't you need to parent constrain it to the bottom?
Yes. How? What's different?
Oh.
What?
It's like the eyeball in the joint.
Correct. What's different? There's one more thing. One really important thing that's going to actually make this work.
No maintain offset?
Correct. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So, parent is going to be I, child is going to be joint. I'm going to go over to constrain parent. I'm going to go to maintain offset, turn that off. Click apply. And now you'll see that joint is now in the center. So I'm actually going to go and delete that tip joint. Actually, you know what? Now I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to go and delete the parent constraint. And then take off the 90-degree rotation that just happened. But what it gives me is that joint is in the direct center of the eyeball. That's what I want. That's exactly what we need. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. All right, I need another one of these on the other side. I want to go to group, modify, we are going to, actually, you know what? Let's just do let's do this. Let's make a modular joint right here. So you'll see it actually branches over. So we'll just be like, this is like the eye center joint. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and mirror this joint over. So I'm gonna go skeleton, mirror joints, and it mirrors it over. Perfect. I hope it should be Billy eye. Okay, so it's going to be a right eye pivot joint. Left. All right, and then we'll do the same thing for this right here. So instead of pivot, this will be tip. Okay. Okay, so Billy eye center joint right here. All right, and it is going to be hooked into the null joint in the center again. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. Let's go ahead and make some controllers. So I'm going to go and start off with a circle. Freeze transformations, Control G, center pivot. And so this will be called the neck base con. The group that it is in is going to be Billy neck base offset group. Okay, you guys with me? Yeah. I mean, we can add them in later, but I haven't put any in. Okay, so in order for us to continue, let's go ahead and duplicate this twice, because we have 3 joints here. So this guy is going to be named top. Top. So Billy neck top con. Billy neck mid. Okay, so now we got 3 offset groups and 3 controllers. I'm going to go ahead and take this mid offset group, move it up to here. Go and rotate it a little bit down. I'm just kind of matching the direction of the neck here. top one. Just going to move that up there as well. Okay? So base, mid, top. All right, scale-wise, these are a little bit big. So let's go ahead and bring them down. So I'm going to uniformly scale them down. Let's do 0.8. 0.5. And that'll work. Something that's kind of easy to see and easy to grab. This one, I think I'm going to actually change the shape a little bit. So, because it's kind of cutting through the neck area right here. So I'm just going to kind of bring it down. And bring that down. Just so it kind of conforms. All right. Now, I want these to follow in a FK chain. What do I got to do for that? Because right now they don't control crap. So if I move this one, you'll see that the mid and the top don't follow at all. So what do I got to do? Nest them how?
So from top to bottom.
Okay. So who's going to be the child and then the parent of who?
The uppermost is going to be the child, and then the mid is going to be the
Okay.
child.
So am I going to take the controller, parented under the mid, parented under the top?
You can take the offset group and put it under the controller.
Okay. So I'm going to take the mid here, this offset, go to neck base, drag it under there, this one,
Drag it under the controller.
and drag it under the mid.
Group con.
Group offset, group offset. No, wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Group con. You got it. Yep. All right. So now if I rotate this, you'll see it moves. Then this moves under that. Nobody has transformations, and now we're happy. Yay. All right. So with these neck ones, they need to control joints. So I'm going to go ahead and grab their respective joints. Go to constrain. And I'm going to go to, we'll do a parent for this one. Ooh, what happened? Oh, that offset, it always gets me. All right. Yay. Grab the controller. Grab this one. G. G. And for this, does it really matter if I'm doing orient or parent for constraints? Not really. No, not really. Maybe an advantage to this would be if you needed to, for whatever reason, like reposition a head. You could do that. Get a little stretchiness in there. So you never know. You might need that.
Which constraint did you use?
I don't know. You tell me. It controls position and it controls rotation. Does orient control position? So what is it? Apparently it's apparent. Okay. Let's do a jaw controller. I'm going to go and pop it up to the jaw. I'm going to go ahead and modify freeze transformations. Billy, jaw, con. And this is also going to be grouped to itself. Billy, jaw, offset, group. Okay. And then I'm going to go and take center pivot. And I'm just going to go ahead and move it down to the jaw tip. And let's go ahead and position it. Turn on some symmetry and let's reform this mouth controller. If you ever look up some like really nicely professionally made rigs, something that's really kind of cool is like literally the rig mimics like basically the facial structure of the face, which is kind of cool, and like the body, so it's almost like this sketched version of the character. Like some of these guys get really super creative with their controller shapes, and it's fun to watch, or it's fun to play around with them. Okay. Yeah.
How do you toggle soft select?
B.
Okay.
So let's do it. Yeah, there we go. All right. So for this guy to open and close, I'm actually going to go and take the pivot point and snap it up to the pivot jaw joint. And then this jaw con, the offset group, needs to go under, well, we actually haven't made it yet, so I'm not going to worry about where it needs to go under, but it'll need to control the jaw pivot. So everybody kind of open your mouth and move your jaw as much as you can. Does the jaw only pivot open and closed?
No.
No. Our jaw actually can dislocate, like snakes. Well, not really. But we can move it kind of laterally, side to side. And we can also move it like laterally front and back a little bit. I don't think we can twist it. Maybe we can. I don't know. Like, probably you'd want to twist it. Like, if you had someone like get hooked in the jaw, you probably want to like have like that jaw hang open pretty wide. So anyway, the type of controller or type of constraint that I might want to use in order to control the jaw may not only be an orient. So I probably would want a parent. It kind of depends on like what you're going to be using for. So like for example, if I was going to go back and like re-rig the jaw joints or the jaw controllers for Squidward, you know, his only really move open and closed. So I probably would only use an orient for that. So whatever makes the most sense.
But for like Fred, we need to probably have a parent one because his has more religion in his mouth.
Yeah, you could. I had to think about who was Fred, and I was like, oh yeah.
Little two bits.
All right. So anyway, let's do controller, joint, parent. So since we moved that pivot point, we can then move the jaw from that position, and then also like we want to like give him a like a sling blade like underbite, but like you can just move that forward. Or if you wanted to do like some Looney Tunes style, like jaw dropping, you could bring it down all the way if you wanted to. So you have that ability in there, which is cool. All right, let's do. I'm gonna do a cube. This is gonna be my main head controller. Okay, freeze, and just to be sure, delete by type history. So I'm gonna go name this headcon. And I'm actually gonna move the pivot point for this one down to basically the top of the neck, since that's really the position we're going to be worrying about it kind of moving around from, because there's really no flexibility in our skulls, right? Like we can't make the top of the head move one direction, and I mean my son I can, because he's got a soft spot, but for normal adults it's all straight bone, so we can't move any of that. But anyway, so I'm going to move this down so then I can then like pivot it at the top of the neck if I need to. All right, I'm going to go ahead and group that guy to himself. Although to be fair, I don't really need to because it's not really doing much, but whatever, we're going to do it anyways. So center that pivot. Billy, head, offset, group. And that's just going to be a groove that's going to hang out right there. And so I'm going to go and grab the controller. I'm going to grab the, I'm actually going to take the null joint. I said I wasn't going to move. I lied, so I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to go and do a parent. So then when I move this, you'll see that it moves the entire head. And then this guy needs to be parented under, someone say something?
My jaw doesn't want to move.
That's because we haven't attached it to anything yet.
I wanted to make sure.
We're getting there. All right, so the head offset group, what do you think that's going to be following? Any idea? What? Well, no, the cube is following the head offset group. But what does the head offset group follow? Like, what would be its parent?
The controller?
The what?
Top controller?
Top what?
Neck.
Yes, precisely. So I'm going to go and take Billy neck top con right here. I'm going to go and take the head offset group and place it under. There we go. So this moves top of the head, but then I can also move the head as well with this controller as well. So I have that option. So the reason why I'm adding this in, because a lot of times you'll see like ribbon spines used in the neck. I think we did that before with Fred. Okay, so we did a ribbon spine in the neck. But then additionally, we also had that extra controller right above that top controller joint that was basically the head base con. That's basically what this is. is we're just recreating that same layout, just minus the ribbon spine. Okay. All right. So you asked about the jaw joint, right? So the jaw controller. So what does it need to follow? Head controller, exactly. So I'm going to go and get the jaw offset group. Go to the head, parent. And so now that will follow the head con. Jaw con follows the head con. The head con follows the neck con. This could go on for a while if it was like a full rig. All right. Let's go ahead and save this guy. Want to take a break? Let's take a break for about 5 minutes. That's weird. All right, let's get back to work. All right, guys. So we went ahead and stopped off with the head controller. So we got all that. We got the jaw controller in here. Let's go ahead and do the eye controllers. So I have a vision con in here, which I'm going to go ahead and create. So right there. Move it a little bit further away. Billy Vision main con. And I need to go ahead and freeze those transformations. Okay. And then with the helper con, or with the vision con, we have two smaller controllers that are parented under the main one. So we have the left and the right here. So we're just going to name it Billy Vision L. And then Billy Vision R. I'm going to take this and hit Control G, group it to itself, center pivot. Billy Vision offset group.
What did you pivot?
What?
You said pivot.
I did the center pivot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and set up my constraints. So I need to go ahead and make basically each eyeball, so this one and this one, follow their individual eyeball controllers. So this guy is going to go to the left vision controller, so this one right here. So which constraint am I going to use for this? Why? So it's going to target it, right? Yeah. So let's go to aim, maintain offset, add. And then I'm going to go and do this one also. So we're going to go grab this one, this controller, hit G. Okay. Actually, I made a mistake with that first one. Grabbed them in the wrong order. So controller first, joint second. Okay, controller first, joint second. There we go. Let's check it and make sure it works. Looks good to me. All right, cool. So, where does the Billy Vision offset group go? Yeah, we can place it under the head. Now, if we want to get more advanced, what might be some options we might set up? We could do a set driven key, but like, what might be some functionality? Let's just kind of start at the functionality end of this. What might be some functionality that I want this rig to have with the eyeballs, with the eye controllers? Independence from what?
From just the main con, so one.
Yeah.
move on the-
So basically from like the entire body. So like if I'm looking at, let's say if I see, you know, Ansem on the street, and I'm like walking down the street, but like I'm walking this way, but my eyes are gonna be stuck to her. Okay? So maybe I want that independence from like everything else. But then maybe also I want to have the controllers, maybe I want to just have everything connected to the head. Where when I move the head, it does this. You know, it sticks in one place. I want both of those. So I kind of want my cake and eat it too. So how do I do that?
Switch on.
I have a switch that's going to be driven by what?
The head con, and then one on placement.
Yeah, we can have that. Yeah. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and place it under the head con since we don't have anything else. But you know, maybe I would like to have, you know, on a full rig. Maybe I'm going to have this guy have a set driven key that allows me to switch between having the parent be the head controller or the world controller. So just an option. Okay. And if you didn't write that down, you probably should, because there might be something on the final that makes you do that. Just saying. So let's go ahead and take offset group right here, head controller, hit P. Now the offset group is under the head controller, and now it follows. Cool? Cool. Any questions? Okay. Let's go ahead and do the nose con. So this one's going to be pretty simple. I just want a nose controller that I can wiggle the nose with. I'm going to go and do a triangle. Okay. I'm going to take this one and let's go into freeze transformations, modify freeze transformations. Hold down D, V. We'll snap this back to the nose pivot so that when I wiggle the nose, it's wiggling from the base. Control G, nose offset group. Center pivot, and that's going to go under head, and then this guy right here, and grab the controller, grab the joint. Let's do orient. So now I can wiggle the nose around if I need to. Cool. All right, good, yes. right, I'm actually going to go ahead and move over to doing some of the blend shapes now. Do you guys have any questions about what we've gone over up until now? Okie dokie. So I'm going to go ahead and take the head geo, and so for the blend shapes, basically I'm just duplicating and then moving them over. Okay? I will not, repeat, I will not freeze the transformations after I move these over. What did I just say? Okay. The reason why is because the way blend shapes work is they are based off of your position of the mesh. So if I have a blend shape that's over here and I freeze the transformations on it and then I attach it to my face and I activate said blend shape, my head is going to assume the shape of whatever I attached as a blend shape. So that means if this has zeroed out translations and this has zeroed out translations, where do you think this head's going to go when it assumes the shape of this guy? It's going to go bloop. It's going to go right over here. So do not freeze transformations. Okie doke. So who's going to freeze transformations?
Definitely not me.
Libby's like, not me. I'm writing this down, underlining it, circling it, got out my highlighter. Yeah.
Do it.
Huh?
Yeah.
And still do it. Dang it. All right. I'm going to duplicate, move this over. Duplicate again, move it over. Duplicate again, move it over. Usually I like to make a few of these, and then I always will try to have one that's just like a blank head that's just kind of sitting off here, just so I can like just go over and like start fresh and make a new one if I need to. Sometimes this is easier because you may at this point have already started skinning, which you can. If you want to go and start skinning, that's fine. But by having that extra one, you don't have to like duplicate and then unlock all the transforms that the skin cluster closes off, and then you don't have to like worry about that. So I just like to have like just a normal head that's just like off here in, you know, New Mexico. So actually that wouldn't be New Mexico, that'd be like Georgia. Yeah, that'd be Georgia if this is weird. Whatever. Anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of play around with this. So I'm going to leave Object X symmetry actually turned on. And then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and kind of sculpt in some shapes. So for your assignment, you have to have at least, for the mouth, you have to have a smile, a frown, a wide mouth, and a smooch. So a smile is going to be this. Frown's going to be this. Wide is going to be this. Well, it's kind of hard to do a wide, not smile. It's like
a hard press.
like this. Think of like your mother saying something embarrassing in front of you and you can't say anything. Like, okay. And then a smooch is this. Okay. For the eye region, you're going to have to do an open eye. So like a wide eye, not just a naturally open eye, but like, oh crap, I just heard something awful. Closed eyes. So just closing the eye, nothing too crazy. And then usually what I'll do is like a brow up, which can be like surprised, or a brow down, which kind of looks angry. Okay? Open eye, closed eye, brow up, brow down. But you're only going to have to sculpt like, with symmetry on, you're just going to be sculpting like one. So it's not, yeah, you don't have to like duplicate the sculpts. Where you have to sculpt left and then right. Okay? But when you get to like painting the blend shapes in, then you'll like paint in one side and you'll paint in the other. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and do a smile. That's not a good smile. Maybe we'll kind of do something like this. Soft select.
Just. I have soft select on, but
It's not what?
well,
Do you have symmetry turned on?
yes.
So make sure you try to get this to look as natural as possible. So when you smile, you have kind of the creases right here. Your cheeks kind of like fold up a little bit. And then like everyone put your hands on your face and then smile. Is it localized to just here? No, like your cheeks kind of move up like under your eyes. So make sure you guys include that as well. You guys want to hear some really crazy stuff?
Yes.
If you just duplicate this head and take it into ZBrush, you can totally just go ahead and sculpt in your own blend shapes. Don't tell anyone I said that.
I'm just gonna stick to the.
I mean, this might be more natural just to like sculpt them in a little bit quicker.
See, that was like one
Like, actually, ZBrush actually has like options. Like, there's like workflows for doing your blend shapes in there. And it works really, really well. Look, he's happy.
He's so happy. Doesn't appear to be as bored as I thought.
Good, I'm glad. Just wait till we get to the next part.
Oh no, I have a feeling I'm gonna be like, yeah, nope, nope, nope.
I mean, it's going good so far, like an hour in, sure.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna go to next class. Don't worry, but we're not even like,
Oh, I know.
we're not close to being finished. Usually with blend shapes, guys, I will over-exaggerate the shape. So it's gonna look a little silly, but like the reason why is because you don't want to do an expression and not have enough room to do the full expression. So if you do, let's say, a smile for like a cartoony character, he might have like a big stupid smile. You probably want to go like maybe 10% more than what you think you actually need to go. Because with animation, you know, you always go like a little bit over and then a little bit back. But like every movement, there's like a little over exaggeration, then you kind of pull it back and a few frames after you do that movement. So like with a smile, you might do like a, and then animate it going out and then a little bit back in. Just kind of a little bit extra in there. You always want to have that extra bit. And you don't want to stretch too much on your blend shapes because it's going to look really funky. And like right here, see how the lips are kind of separating a little bit? So I probably want to go in and make sure that stays closed. So something like that. Look at that big old smile. He's just cheesing. And the nice thing is by doing it this way, you can actually go in and edit them later on. So like if you find something that doesn't work or it clips through teeth or whatever, you can actually just go back and like edit this and it'll auto update onto him. So that's a nice option. And then I'll do underscore BS for blend shape. And you'll notice also that like I'm limiting this just to like the lower face. Like when we smile, like there's more movement in the rest of the face, like the eyes, the brows usually tend to move in unison, but I can get that with doing the eye shapes. So I'm just going to keep this as like one piece just for the lower half of the face.
Is that meaning why we're doing the eyes and the mouth shapes separate so we can like kind of combine the two as needed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you'll find with like a relatively little or few number of blend shapes, you can get kind of a nice range of movement. I'm just going to squeeze this up just a little bit.
How do you change the, I guess, influence of the?
Hold down B and middle mouse drag left and right. That'll change your fall off. Or I guess I should say your brush size. Okay. Let's do this again. We'll do a frown. It's kind of like a smile, but it's upside down.
Doesn't that kind of thing hold true though, to where like it takes more muscles to frown than just to smile, so like would that affect more areas of the face as well?
Maybe. If I'm making like weird faces up here, it's because I'm trying to feel like what's moving.
Working pretty well though.
You also kind of feel like the bottom lip kind of push up a little bit when you frown.
That would push out.
Kind of, for me, it's like, it kind of pushes out when it hits that top lip.
And then also like the chin thing a little bit. A little bit of flexation.
Yeah. This is the face he makes when his mom won't give him like Whataburger.
We have Whataburger at home.
No Whataburger at home.
It's just sandwiches.
Like closest you can get is like Waterburger and cream ketchup.
That was such a revelation when I found that in HEB.
What? Spicy ketchup?
In HEB,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my god.
They also have like your.
Because I don't really like HEB, to be honest. I'm not a fan of, I just don't like it.
Oh,
You go to Kroger?
I do go to Kroger, yeah.
Tried Aldi's?
I don't even know.
I'm kind of on Aldi's. I used to go to them. I like options, and Aldi doesn't give me options.
Gives you good prices.
I want like 30 different options of salsa. I don't need like 2.
It's more of like if you're looking for like international European stuff.
Yeah, well, okay, so like Aldi's is good like if you have no money.
Yep. Fall down.
And that's what, I mean, I went to Aldi's for years, and it was great for that. So it works. I have all the respect for Aldi's and the way they run their stores.
I didn't even know Aldi's or Kroger were a thing until I came here.
Really?
Yeah, me
Pretty
either.
well, they just
Austin area.
small, they just built it here.
Do they not have other grocery stores in Austin other than HEB?
I mean, we got Whole Foods.
Whole Foods
We
is
got Whole Foods.
okay. Well, I'm sorry. That's
That's what. Let's be real. Come on.
Yeah,
You ever seen-
they have a lot of international stuff
How
there.
often do you see someone with melanin, fair amount of melanin go in there?
I don't want to talk about that because this is being recorded right now, and that's completely wrong because I've been to plenty of Whole Foods that have a very diverse group of people that go there. So,
It's just me.
you know what? Just leave your racism at the door. John Michael Hernandez,
Saying it on video.
so everyone knows who we're talking about.
No, it's like it's really expensive in there though.
It is more
They
expensive.
just have like weird stuff. Like there was like water, but it had like things with asparagus in it. Like,
Well,
that's
the
not-
one that my mom used to take me to all the time, we only went for the juice land that was in it. And that's it. Yeah, juice land, it's amazing. They have a sticker on my computer for juice.
Oh, your
It's like-
laptop, no, careful.
Yeah, they're like, it's fine. They're like healthy, organic smoothie cookies. Great.
All right, so frown. I think we're almost done with this one. There we go. It looks like a fish. But like I said, you're over exaggerating that expression because you may not, need to do all that much. But still, it works. Okay. Duplicate this guy over so I have an extra one. We're going to do our wide.
So with this one, the teeth are still there, right? Or they're not in this?
No, they're over in the other mesh. because they're not a part of the head mesh. They're just their own meshes.
Oh, that's what you're saying, something about the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that you were
Nope. So, getting a little chipmunky cheeks right here, but like I kind of feel it when you like pull them out, pull the lips out to the side. Maybe not that much, but get the idea. You ever go to a Fresh Time grocery store? Do they have those down here? It's kind of like a Whole Foods, but less pretentious. It's really good. I love them. They do like a lot of like fresh, like sausages. So like you can get like all these different types of sausage there. It's pretty cool. Alright, so I got smile, frown, wide, smooch. Let's do smooch. So what does your lips do when you do a smooch?
They like purse.
Kind of cook her out and get it real narrow.
in your face, it's kind of slim.
So if you're doing a full face rig for a character that was going to talk, you'd be doing probably 30, 40 different blend shapes. One for each phenom or phenom. And then all the possible different not combinations, but like all the different like eye controls and forehead controls and stuff like that. So. Yeah, boy, he's going in for that kiss. Look at him. He's like, I am ready. All right, so this area right here is getting a little pinchy. Probably go in and kind of smooth it out a little bit. So I'm going to go under Sculpting, Smooth Tool. And like, I'll do this just a little bit. I'm not going to do a crazy amount, just to kind of relax some of the mesh areas. Okay, so something like that. I really need to go in and bring out a little bit more. Bring this back. Trying to make it just symmetrical. With the sculpting tool, I didn't have symmetry turned on. All right, and we'll take this. Bring that back in. There we go. Pucker up, big boy. any questions so far? Okay. Get up. I'm gonna go ahead and make another one right here. This one's gonna be the eye closed. I'm gonna leave it in position real quick. Because I kind of need the eyeballs in order to do this. Okay. So with this one, we want to make sure we kind of just limit our soft select, and then we can kind of try to close the eyes. And then once you kind of get them to this place, we can kind of start sculpting them. Oh, that got a little weird. Well, tell you what, I'm just going to go with this, and then we can kind of work with that. And then we're just going to kind of sculpt them to where they're not covering or covering the. I'm sorry, not clipping through the eyeball. So put this guy on his own layer. Work with this one. Okay. Tell you what, let's turn off joints for a second, because these are getting in the way. Okay. There we go. When you're using soft select, this is a really good reason to change your fall off mode from volume to surface. Because if I was using volume, I'd be totally grabbing like the top eyelid right now, and that would just not be what I want at all.
How do you do that?
It's under the tool set for, like, if you just double click on the move, it's under soft selection, and it's under right here, surface, fall off mode. You can change it to whatever you want. Okay. Alright, so that's garbage right there, so we need to fix that. So let's go under sculpting tools, smooth again. Smooth that area out. Actually, let me make sure I got symmetry turned on for this. Symmetry, object X. Are we actually doing it? Okay, there we go. I'll go around here, just kind of, really any jagged areas you need to kind of smooth out. So otherwise, like your textures and stuff will kind of do some weird, funky moves if you're not careful. Especially that corner of the eye needs to be fixed a little bit. You don't want to do it too much though, but we just need just enough to kind of relax the mesh a little. Then we'll go back in and resculpt. Something like that.
And when you're changing from surface to volume and soft select,
So the surface is basically looking at points that are along the same surface, like from this point, this point, this point. So if I just go and change this to volume, you'll immediately see. Let me change my brush size. Okay. So you'll see that with a volume fall off mode, it is selecting areas on the lower eyelid. I don't want that for this particular usage. But if I change it to surface, you'll see that it's only selecting the points that are along along the brush radius, but that are on that same surface. So it's kind of wrapping around and going on the underside of the eyelid. Okay? Okay. Relax a little bit more. Okay. So something like that. So we need just closed eyes that look natural. All right. Try not to let it clip through the eyeballs, and you're good to go. Now, when you close the eyes, does anything else move?
Just slightly.
Yeah, just a little bit. So you may want to bring down the eyebrow just a tiny bit. Okay, maybe just a little bit, just like that.
Is the bottom also like?
It kind of depends. Like if you're squinting, like yeah, like that'll move up.
Cool.
So there we go. All right, I'm gonna go and stop there. So, Wednesday, I'm going to go ahead and start creating the GUI, and we'll do some painting and then add in our blend shapes to create the blend shape deformer, and then we'll attach that to the GUI with set-driven keys, and yeah, and that'll be almost it. We'll probably add in maybe like a few deformer joints in the cheeks and brow area, maybe some ears, whatever, you know. So anyway, get started. I'm gonna have to evaluate if I need to actually keep recording these videos next semester. All right, so I'm gonna do some brow movement.
And when we're moving the brows, like I will, like, cause you have an eyebrow mesh on this, and so that will move the eyebrows with them, or we have to move those separately when we're,
I don't have an eyebrow mesh.
no?
No. If you do have an eyebrow mesh, you can just wrap deform it to the brow, or you could Captain Crunch it and rig it on your own. So that's an option. All right. So he's a little worried. Probably don't need the eye sockets to peel away from the eyeballs. So move that back down. You guys have any questions from last class?
The only one I have is just when you're in the mesh and it's like you're selecting, like when you're editing and it's red, how do you
What's your question? How do I what?
Just this in general, like this like red selection.
Well, down B, middle mouse drag. You can change the. Is that what you're asking?
Oh yeah, that was it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just soft select.
Okay.
All right. So we got sad eyes and angry eyes. Let's go ahead and name each one of these, so we actually know what we're looking at. Brow, down. Then we'll do brow up. Okay, that's open. That's open. That's good. That's, yeah.
What does ES stand for?
Anyone want to tell them?
Legit.
Also makes me just kind of giggle a little bit. Okay. This guy out of the way. All right. So here are our contestants.
Oh, that's what reminds me of the heads from the Haunted Mansion. Little Hippos.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take these guys. We will search and replace names. Replace. And these will be left. Okay. So now we have left and right. Cool? Cool.
I'm gonna actually make the name change to it myself, just the name change.
Yep, just the name change. All right, gonna select all these. Gonna select the original head. We're gonna go under rigging, deform, blend shape, options. So we're gonna be making a blend shape node. All of these will be linked under head, BS, and then I'm gonna go to advanced deformation order. I'm gonna actually click on pre-deformation. So what this is actually referring to is the inputs for a mesh. So this, if you just right click and go to inputs, this will list everything. So an input for a mesh might be a constraint, it might be a skin cluster, it might be a blend shape. And depending on the order of these, it's going to change the way the shape moves. Okay? So we want to make sure the blend shapes are always going to be set to pre-deformation, which means they're going to be lowest in the stack in order for this to work for us. So if I go ahead and change this to pre-deformation, we'll be good. That means that this is going to come before any skin clusters. Now we don't have a skin cluster yet, so it's going to automatically come before anyways, because once we assign the skin cluster, that'll go on top. But this will basically say, hey, I want you to compute the blend shape before you compute the skin cluster deformation change. Okay? All right. So I'm going to click on that. Click on create. Let me make sure I got all of these guys selected. Click on this and click create. Now if we click on the head, scroll down, you'll see that inputs head BS right here.
I'm getting an error that says it doesn't match with the original head.
Okay. Are transformations frozen on the head that you pulled off to the side? Are they, if you zero out that head, does that go back to the original position?
I never froze it.
Did you delete any history? No?
Well, let me freeze
Are you grabbing the blend shape first and then the head?
I just froze all the transformations.
Don't freeze all the transformations.
No.
Remember
Oh, that was-
last
yeah,
class,
yeah,
that was like
yeah.
a big thing. I said don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look and see what this does. So now if I activate each one of these blend shapes, you'll see that we now have and the fun thing is that we can actually combine these with each other. So if I do, say, a smile and then a wide, we get a wide smile. If we do a frown and a smooch, we get that. We can also do a brow up and a smooch or a frown and a smooch, and then we get that.
They're working on a minimum maximum.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
So could we do like a 0.5?
Correct.
No,
Yeah. But this is not how we're going to be controlling these. So we're going to be building a GUI. They'll be sitting next to the head, or we can have controllers on the face that will control all of this for us. Okay?
Why is there a left and a right variation of
Anyone want to explain?
Because so your face isn't always even, so like one side's gonna be like more leaning than the other. So that's why there's two readings.
So we will have to set that up to control left and right. But right now we just made a copy so we can do a left and a right when we need to. All right. Let's go ahead and make some controllers to get this to work. All right, so kind of what I like to do is I like to do basically symmetrical GUIs where I'll have like little controllers that sit on the face, like little spheres and stuff that I can move around, and then I will limit their axes of movement so they can only move like up, down, left, and right. And then I can do a set driven key to where the left and right or up and down movement for these shapes basically goes in and keys the positions for each one of these. So it kind of gives you like an interesting axes of movement, axes of freedom that you can kind of sit there and like customize the different looks. Okay? So let's go and kind of work with that, set up some controllers, and then we're going to need to go in and actually paint in the influences so that the left and rights only basically affect the left and the right sides. So let's do some spheres. I think they work pretty well. And then actually I'm going to get do a square. And that'll act as my bounding box. Alright, so that's probably a little too big. Do something like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and freeze transformations on this. And I'm going to go and take this controller and parent it under its bounding box. And so we'll just leave this here kind of chilling for a minute. And then we'll come back and we're actually going to have like 4 of these, like one, basically 2 on each side. And I need to go and paint in the blend shapes. So I'm going to go under Deform, Paint Weights, Blend Shape. And so this is going to be very similar to the weight painting for your skin clusters. So the way I want to do this is I'm going to go through and activate each one of these, and then we'll basically just paint out the side that we don't want. Okay? So for this guy, let's do... So I want to go ahead and paint in brow up, BS left. So it's going to be brow up, BS left. And so that means that really only his left side should be activating that brow shape. Okay? So if I go to replace, value of 0, you'll see that it will paint out the blend shape over there on the other side of his face. Okay, see that? Okay. Smooth that out. I want to go to Billy Head, Eye Closed, BS Right. So I'm going to go back to here, turn this off, turn this on, and this is going to be Billy Head, Eye Closed, BS Right. So that means that this one needs to be activated. This one is going to be inactive. So I'm going to go to replace, and I'm going to paint that eye back open. And there you go. So now he's winking at us. Or giving us a stink eye. Either one.
So with this, like you could get more facial expressions because we're only activating one part of his face, right?
Yeah, so if we do a smile, but it's only on one side, that's a smirk. If we want to wink, we just blink on one side. Then we can activate, you know, if we have like, maybe like a pained expression, maybe like he gets struck on one side of his head, we can maybe like have this eye like squint and use like the brow down and just kind of make, you know, really kind of agonized expression over there. Yeah, so this gives you like a lot of flexibility.
So if we could do this, then why would people still make a whole lot of other blend shape faces?
Say that one more time.
So if like we could do it this way, why would people still make a whole bunch of other blend shape faces?
Because there are thousands of possible shapes you can make. Like with your mouth, you may do like, you know, we talked about all the phonemes that you would have. So you would make a blend shapes for each one of those. For me, for my characters, a lot of times I will do muscle flexors. So like for biceps, you know, just naturally when you bring your arm up and flex and basically just curl it, this is going to flex. But then also when you straighten it out, this will flex a little bit as well. But then this will go down. So then you can have blend shapes that basically control for that. A lot of times you'll have corrective blend shapes. So let's say if you're having a hard time getting this to keep its volume, when you raise the arm, you could have a corrective blend shape that basically fills this up when the arm is activated and moving upwards. So things like that. There's hundreds of reasons why you'd want a blend shape. This is really just kind of the base reason. Okay? So instead of me going through here and painting every single one of these, I find that generally you guys have a lot of trouble with this. So I'm going to have each one of you come up here, and you're going to paint one out. All right? So, yeah. So as long as this is basically not showing any movement that the blend shape is doing, then we're fine. And blue is pretty much like 0 to like 5% value anyways. So it's virtually nothing. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and deactivate this one. So we're going to do brow right over here. And I am going to have Handsome. Come on up. Brow up, BS right 1. Okay. So first let's talk about what side of the face brow up right 1 is going to be activating. What side of your face is that?
The right face,
Right.
the right side.
The right side. So put your hand over your right side. So it's going to be this, right? So for the character, what side on him is that going to be?
This
Hey,
side.
sometimes you got to do it.
I was thinking of doing it.
So yeah, it'll be that. So you're going to be leaving that activated. So what side are you going to be painting out? If this side is activated, what side will you paint blank?
Right side.
No, his left side. So your right side, his left side. Okay?
Okay.
So go ahead and paint out that area so we don't have the brow arching up on this side of the face. Okay?
So paint out the left side.
Yeah, so paint out his left side, which for you is going to be,
This side.
yes. Come on, you can do it. There you go. So since this is the brow, you want to focus on the brow region. You got it. You're doing fine. I would make the brush a little bit smaller. And then focus on this brow area, since that's really what we're activating.
And then smooth it out.
You still have some area right here, so why don't you paint this out? Okay. And go ahead and smooth. You might want to go in and actually brush out the smoothing right here. So just go ahead and, no. Go back to smooth. There you go. And just click it and just smooth out this area. And then why don't you smooth this area out too. Just hold down the mouse and just go back and forth. There you go. Okay. Let's go ahead and flood a smooth couple times. There you go. All right. Going to hit Q. Let's get out of that tool. Okay. Does that look like it's correct? Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and deactivate that blend shape. Just bring it back down to 0. And then activate the next one, please. I closed BS left. You gotta activate it. Set it as 1 for me. There you go. All right, cool. Thank you. Handsome. Pick the next person.
You try to spin doesn't choose, you just like.
All right. So this is Billy hit I closed BS left. So that means his left eye needs to be closed.
Right.
There you go.
Left
So
side.
what side are we going to be? We're going to be painting out
The right side.
the right side. All right. So let's go ahead and paint out his right side. Now we're moving down to smooch. I think you may have hit something.
Oh, okay. Oops. BS
Billy hit
left.
I close BS left. Yep.
Yeah.
So replace value 0. Paint that out. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go ahead and flood a smooth a couple times. Okay. All right. Look good, guys? All right. Excellent. Go ahead and deactivate this one and activate the next one, please. All right. Moving down the map. Thank you, sir. Go ahead and pick the next person, please.
Will.
And so because we only really mess with the symmetrical side of the face, we only really have to focus on cleaning out the influence on that side of the
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, so we need to move down to the next one. Good. Yep. Now you got it. You hit it.
Is this one or?
Yeah. Click on the next one. You got it. You were over there. Go back over to the tool settings. Click smile BS left.
Oh, right.
Okay. So if he is smiling on his left side, what side do you need to paint out?
The right side of his mouth.
His right side.
Mm.
Is that his right side?
Yes.
Is it? Okay. Okay, so look at your tool setting. What is it set to? There you go. So this was going to be tricky because you have basically a little bit of a crossover because the smile is happening on both sides and is hitting the exact middle of his face. So you want to be careful to only get basically from here over. So you may want to make the brush a little bit smaller.
Is it middle mouse click and down?
You're talking about holding down B to make the brush smaller?
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
I like the hotkey works with PC. It doesn't work with
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, well, not when you're in the paint leaf tool. When you're like doing like outside paint leaf tool, it works. But in the paint leaf tool, it won't work for some reason.
That's because Mac is a pile of garbage. No, I'm sorry.
You're
I
right.
would have got this, but I didn't want to. You didn't have.
I've learned a long time ago that Maya for a PC is far superior. And the first thing that told me it was superior was the fact that I could open up multiple instances of Maya on a PC.
Yeah.
And I can't do that on Mac.
You can't. It sucks. like other week, like I'll have to.
Make your brush bigger so we're not spending too much time just doing one vertice by vertice.
Whenever you give us the reference done demo files, like I'll have to like take notes of what I'm doing specifically with the done demos, then I'll have to open up.
I'm sure you get like the cheek and everything. Remember, because with the cheek we sculpted it, kind of
Right.
pushing out a bit.
Right, it's a smile, right?
Mm-hmm. So everything that's affected needs to be painted out. That'll probably go away when you smooth it. Go a little bit higher up on the cheek, like right up here, and see if you can get that out. All right, why don't you go and smooth? Once you get like this area in here in the cheek, little kind of light green areas, like right here on the cheek, this.
Oh, right.
And then it looks like we got some vertices that are kind of poking out. Why don't you zoom in and take care of those? If you flood a smooth, it might actually take care of itself. Try it again. Okay. And zoom in again. I want you to go ahead and remove the influence on that. Get out of there, start menu.
Remove the influence?
Yeah.
Smooth it.
It's not going to remove it. You got to go to replace. There you go.
Oh,
Value
and
0.
just-
Uh-huh. Keep going. Got to paint it. There you go. All right. Good job.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Go on and pick your next victim.
Delet.
So, gotta reset this. Take this value 0 and activate the next one. Okay. Okay, you're good. Go sit down.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking that making it black is that.
What?
I was thinking that making the area black is painting out, and the colors.
So value of 0 to like 5% is blue, so it's virtually gone. With the color ramp, now if we go and like uncheck the color ramp, the area that's blue will just turn black. So the color ramp just gives us like more variation. Do it.
Go. Okay.
Head smooch left. What are we painting out?
His right.
Yep. This one's gonna be tough because like you got all these vertices like stuck close together. Keep going. Keep going.
Did I go too far?
Hmm?
Did I go too far into that?
No, why don't we go ahead and smooth it once and see what happens. Do a flood smooth. Do it again. Okay. I think that'll work. Alright, go to deactivate and activate the next one. Alright. Who do you want?
Anissa.
How many keys do we have? I got 16. Wide, narrow, smile, frown. Eyes closed, eyes up.
I can't remember. Do we affect? Yeah, we are. I think we're affecting the cheek as well.
14?
So it's like,
So
Get
we
that.
almost everyone. I think we have like 16 in here.
yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. So make it everyone to 1.
Not good right there?
What do you guys think? Look good? Okay. Why don't you go and deactivate and reactivate the blend shape, and we'll see if anything moves. Oh, something moved. Activate it again.
Yeah,
Alright,
the cheek. The
cheeks.
cheek, more on the
Cheeks
cheeks.
are moving right here.
More on the cheek. Go over here. Do
Lower cheek. Like this area. Right here.
There we go.
There you go.
It's a good way to test it.
That's how you should test it. I'll probably keep painting out the cheek. I think that's gonna keep moving.
It's like a lot down here.
A lot, yeah. Really, the only thing we have to worry about is just maintaining influence on the areas that need to move. So an alternative method to this might be just flood the hell out of everything with zero value, and then just paint in what you want to actually move. But either way works. Whatever gives you the result you want.
Okay, let's try.
Just test. That's
Ooh,
better. There's a
yeah.
little bit of influence right here in the corner of the mouth. I saw it, activate it again. Watch the corner of his mouth.
Yeah, I see it right there.
See that?
Yeah.
So maybe go to a harder brush this time. So you're on soft brush, go to maybe a medium or a strong brush. There you go.
Go strong.
And go ahead and replace value of 0.
Yeah. Oof. No.
That'll work. That'll
Really?
work. Just keep going. Just keep painting.
There we go.
Not that far over. You got it. Just go over to the cheek. Go over here.
Do, do, do.
There you go.
See there.
And go ahead and smooth it. Keep smoothing. Okay.
Yeah.
And deactivate and reactivate.
There you go.
Looks good. All right.
Yay.
Go ahead and deactivate, and let's go to the next one and activate the next one for me.
Oh no. Wait, I did it.
Okay. All right. Who do you want? Choose someone you might not usually choose.
Let's go. Emily.
Good choice. That means that she wouldn't normally choose her friends.
Darn it. Okay.
So.
This is not a darn it. This is a learning experience.
Yay.
So this is Billy head from BS left. So we need to paint out what?
Okay, this side. Okay. So.
There's a lot of face slapping going on here today.
So we're still using our own faces as reference.
Wait, is that the wrong side? Yeah, yeah. Right.
Left, right,
Yay.
right, left.
Right.
Okay, you're getting
I
kind
don't
of
know.
far over there on the other side of the face, so be careful. But you do need to replace, see those vertices like popping out?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get rid of those. Okay. Now, why don't you go ahead and smooth the area like in the middle, and make your brush smaller. You got a big old brush there. That's it. I can't tell what size your brush is now.
Okay, here.
Can't see anything.
Oh.
Go to the white area.
Like that.
Okay, that's more appropriate. So why don't you go ahead and paint out like the center area and smooth that out quite a bit more. What? That's not the center area.
Oh shit. Oh,
This,
sorry.
right here. Emily.
Okay.
Paint this smooth.
Oh no. Help solve this problem.
It's not a problem. This is an opportunity. Smooth that.
Okay.
There you go. We want a nice, even transition. It's like painting and blending.
Well.
You remember that, right?
Uh-huh.
There you go. Blend. Why don't you do it for the rest?
Okay.
Oh, we need the mouse. Just use your finger.
Yeah, easy. And it's okay.
It is a touch screen.
I feel like it's easier to do this with the mouse with the
Oh, I should.
Say what?
It's easier. I feel like it's easier to do this with the little drawing pad than the mouse.
It actually does have pressure input. Yeah, so you could actually use a pen input if you wanted.
So if I just have like
So why don't you deactivate and reactivate it a few times, see if anything over here moves, and if it does, you need to paint that out.
Wait.
Stop making fun of me.
So like.
Okay, so
Okay.
deactivate the blend shape and reactivate it. Watch it. Do you see anything move over there?
Let me try again.
Do you see anything move?
Like here.
Okay, let's go and paint that out then. So what will happen is if you don't paint something out, let's say if you have like a frown over here, and then you paint everything out, but you miss a little bit over there, and you end up activating, like say, both frowns to get a full frown, you're going to end up doubling up on the transformation. So you'll have like, there might be just a little bit of movement here if you activate one, but if you end up doubling up, you'll end up getting like this big border thing, like just comes popping out of your face. So you got to make sure that you're paying attention to what is actually being activated when you paint it, and test it. You have to go back and just turn it off, turn it back on, and see if anything actually moves. Okay?
And like we'll still be using our own faces as reference to figure out what we need to blend out kind of as well.
Yeah. Are you raising your hand or are you just scratching your head?
A little bit.
A little bit of both?
Yeah. That makes sense because this is like the zero position. This is where, like, if there was an area that wasn't smoothed out, so you double it, it'll just
Go out 2 times. Yeah. Yeah, it's just being
Like the
activated
balloons,
twice.
what? Blues mix. Okay. Sounds good. Let's mix them together. Shit.
You got it.
Yeah. Thanks for the encouragement, you guys. This is great. Okay.
So that was class this morning. Class is bullshit. The teacher made me get up and do work.
Yay.
For me, what is it now? I feel like the hardest thing about going up there and doing stuff is that because freaking stupid Mac, and then they got the good PC
Stupid
over
Mac.
there.
So.
It's like I keep trying to hit the command button, I'm like, wait, there's no command.
Well, it's 'cause there's a.
You're doing this beautifully. Good job.
Yeah, okay. Thanks
Okay.
for the encouragement, you guys.
Why don't you go ahead and test it, see if anything moves.
Okay.
Let's talk about homework.
Okay, test it again. I don't see anything. Looks
Yay.
good.
Okay, cool.
All right, switch to the
Solid.
next. Nope, you gotta
Okay,
activate
okay.
the next one.
Okay, okay. Okay. Eh.
All
Oh,
right.
I don't have to click on it. Okay. Yay.
You gotta pick someone. Pick someone you wouldn't normally pick.
Libby, your turn.
There you go. She had you targeted. She's like, all right, but Libby.
Oh, we had a laser pointer. That was so great. It actually is you.
Blinding light. All right, so which one is this?
The
Smooch
Smooch
BS
is
right. So we've been doing left a whole lot. So what does this mean?
wow, we're gonna do this side now.
Yeah.
Why is it that even though when you color around, when you use a harder brush, it still turns black?
Because it's going straight to 0. There's no in between. It's like an elevator drop. Doesn't make any stops.
It's frightening.
What?
Instead of just painting on the entire left side of the.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys ever watch the original Star Trek?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Star Wars.
what this always just reminded me, I was like, when I would do this, I would just paint out like literally like half the face. And do you guys remember like the episode where like you had the aliens who were like half white, half black, but they hated the other guy that was like half black, half white, and they were like, well, he's clearly different than me, so I hate him.
Ooh.
But Kirk's like, you're the same, you just don't even realize it.
Oh, so why couldn't we do, like when we would have a symmetrical,
Too far.
then when we did pink leaks, why couldn't we like just mirror those over? Like mirror over the leaks?
You can, are you talking about mirroring this over?
Yeah.
Can we?
Oh. Sounds loud.
Hey Libby,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be there, but go under deform up at the top.
1, 2.
Yeah, there's no mirror option in there. So, yeah.
We should add one of them.
You're making me seriously question things. It's like, what? No, it's yeah, they don't have that.
Oh.
Alright,
Do we
how we
hit
looking?
Windows key. Okay.
Alright, activate it and deactivate it a couple times. Let's see what happens. Alright, looks good. Go and deactivate, activate the next one.
Okay.
Alright, and pick your victim.
Gonna go with Katie.
Abdul is just like,
You got this. You're worried like overalls with like stockings. You got this.
Is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem. It's not
very defensive. You got a problem with that?
Look.
I want to wear shorts, but it's cool. I want to go back to the 80s, but not.
Wait, which one did I just select?
What?
This one was the one
Yeah,
I
we
just
already had
selected.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, so she activated it for you.
Oh wait.
No, we're
this
on
is
it.
the-
She did it. She
this
was
one.
nice. Yes. There you go. Okay.
Yes.
So this is frown right. So what side are you painting out?
Left.
Yep, his left.
Wait, did I just deselect something?
No, you're good. You gotta activate the tool.
This thing.
Yep. So then you gotta
Yes.
go to this blend shape in here. There you go. Do you want to like figure out what side you're doing? There you go.
Got it.
Look at that, you paint out the wrong side yet. This is great. Takes me at least 3 or 4 tries every time I do this.
I feel like I'm gonna be doing this when like my friend's gonna be looking at me like,
Damn
what are you
it.
doing? And I'll be like, I'm checking my face.
I'm making mini Joker masks.
Hmm?
That is like a Joker mask when he's frowning.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Have you seen that show, Needs 11
Wait.
2263?
What? Right? Wait.
Yes.
Because
that was the one where he goes through like that portal and like goes back in time.
the whole thing.
That's
James Franco.
yeah. No, I haven't seen the whole thing. I've
It
seen
is so good.
I've seen parts of it. I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes.
'Cause
I've
you said
enjoyed what
going
I
back
saw.
To the 80s, and I just thought about that. I was like, imagine going back to the 80s with knowing everything you know right now. Like, you could just create stuff, place bets, write.
That's basically the plot of the second Back to the Future movie.
I'm the wrong thing.
18. That one that I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the basis
Yeah.
of it.
I just helped someone out, so.
Well, that's basically what they did in Back to the Future 2, because Biff got an almanac from the future and used that to place bets.
No
and
wonder.
he
Okay.
became, like, basically Donald Trump. And it's really weird though, because like you watch it, he looks and acts just like Donald Trump.
Well, you know,
But,
I was
but this
doing-
movie was like back in like the late 80s.
as like a, I mean,
Look, it's
you know,
8 a.m.
I don't
conspiracy
It's
theories,
9 a.m.
but they don't that his sons are like kind of like there's a book that dates like way back and like it has like Trump's name and his son's name.
I thoroughly believe we're in an alternate universe.
The Simpsons
Yeah.
predicted it.
Alternate
I
universe for what?
completely, well, not really, but I kind of sort of believe we actually are an alternate universe from what we should have been in.
Which one should we have been in?
Yeah.
When I woke up,
Define what we
on
should've been in.
November 6th, 2016, I was like, what the fuck just happened?
The whole world was like, what the hell just happened?
Huh?
You for real?
I was very surprised.
What do you mean?
That was a presidential election.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember I came to school the next day and
Everyone was quiet. It was so quiet on
They brought like
campus.
Confederate flags.
all the country kids dressed up their trucks, Confederate flags and Trump kids flags, and they were like chilling out in the Walmart parking lot for some reason. Yeah,
There's
my
like
God.
a little bit of movement on this side.
Where?
Like on this side.
Okay,
So
then why don't
just
you
go
go
ahead
ahead
and
and,
paint it out.
yeah, paint that out a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, you watch it.
Yeah, my friend Vance called it though. He was like, after the election, he's like, yeah, I told you. I said, well, I didn't believe you. I said, man, none of you guys believe me. I have no idea. I'm not calling anything. I'm not making that bet again. I would have laid down $10,000,
Same.
but I was wrong. I was very, very wrong.
Okay.
I think
Yes.
that election alone is what made me stop being interested in politics.
Dude, that election alone should make you interested in politics.
I was like, heck no.
Honestly, how often does
Yes.
it make you interested? Half the stuff
It's your disinterest in politics is
Yeah.
what is going to cause things to,
change.
yeah.
Nissa.
That's why they say you're.
I mean, I'll be honest, like, when I was y'all's age, I couldn't care less about politics
Mhm.
until I was in my senior year of college, 2008, when Obama was elected. Once he was elected, then I was like, oh crap, there's someone that I'm interested in that represents what I like, so that made me interested in politics. Because I couldn't care less about Bush, I couldn't care less about Clinton, because I was a kid. Like, what do I care? But
Like I grew up going to like
beautiful.
banquets
I think we're pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, deactivate, activate the
Yeah,
next
I
one.
guess once you realize that your voice actually kind of does matter.
Until
I mean,
you
honestly, if you look at the
until you
election
email John Cornyn and get back like the most half-assed email ever. All
Gonna
right.
ignore that I accidentally was
What'd you
working on
do?
I was working on the wrong one until I realized I was working on the wrong one. So I like already did like part of it.
Wait, what?
She weight painted the next one a little bit, but not entirely.
Well, then why don't we just go ahead and finish this one? You get to do two then,
Oh boy.
since you want to do this so much.
Oh, where'd it go?
It's already activated.
A lot of the time.
Oh, there it is.
Just go ahead and paint it. We are doing a right one, right? Okay.
Eh.
Wait, no, that's
That's a lot.
she's gonna hate flowers.
Wait.
Yeah, she accidentally painted another one by
This
accident,
one.
so she's doing
yes.
two.
Okay, I
doing
got
two.
it. I'm doing good. Thanks, Ricardo.
She's gonna be super well off. You guys know we had an election yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all
I mean, it was
vote?
like super small, and I don't really know what was being elected. So, although interestingly enough, apparently Virginia like completely flipped.
Really?
Yeah, they're like solidly Democrat now, which was like originally they were Democrat governor, but then like both houses were Republican, and then yesterday they both flipped like a couple of seats.
Good for Virginia.
So, that was interesting. Once you go and smooth it, you should be done. There you go. Good job.
Yeet.
All right, deactivate, activate the next one, and I'm gonna pick for you.
Sweet.
Brittany, come on up. We're doing the one that's activated.
You can't get it wrong if I set it up for you.
Billy head smile, BS right.
Yep.
So right side
So you can be painting out
is left side?
his left side,
Yeah,
yes.
so I gotta figure out which one is left.
Which one's your left hand?
I think this one?
Smack it over the left side of your face.
I really don't want to touch my face.
Why?
Because of my makeup.
Okay. Hover it over the left side of your face.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's the side you're gonna be painting.
So this side, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. No. This.
No. Okay.
Even turned around, we still can't do it. This side. Paint this side out.
You know, I have like a mole on the center of my right hand.
Oh, I
When was a
fucked
kid,
up.
I used to choose my left from my right. I looked through my hands. I was like, oh, this has the mole on it. There we go.
I lost it. I touched a key.
What's wrong with you people?
No,
You don't have
it's
moles in
this.
your hand?
Oh,
You
okay.
can't figure this out?
Okay, so we're just painting this. Okay.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, which one am I using? It's this one.
Oh, that's not Mrs.
Pretty sure on Monday when this is due, everyone's gonna comment with like red sheets and we're just checking our project. You did your homework. You did your goal. You did. You don't have to worry.
I can't imagine like a test or something in this class. People just like,
Wait.
The tours are walking by, they're just seeing us in here. Just
Oh, that's nice. You guys let all kinds of people in your classes.
Over here is the painting room. Everyone's like painting. All the kids are like, wow, that looks cool.
You can tell the ones that like came straight from painting because they got paint on their face.
No,
Drawing.
Charcoal everywhere.
honestly,
Coal miners.
It's the painting studio. Everyone's nice. They're painting cool things. Wow, high schoolers all like.
You want to go with a little bit bigger brush.
Yeah, I tried to adjust it, but it's like.
No, hold down B, middle mouse, drag left and right, and you can adjust your brush
Oh,
strokes.
okay. I didn't. Okay.
what do you think of the Yang Gang?
The what?
The what?
The Yang Gang.
Oh.
What, the guy running for president?
Yeah.
I like him. He ain't gonna get it, but I like him.
Yeah, that's a slogan.
Andrew Yang? Right? Andrew Yang is his name? Yeah, I like him a lot, actually.
Good values, I'm not gonna lie.
He's like all for like legalization of marijuana, right?
And he
Well, I
wants
mean,
to
that's
make
not what
it
he's
down
all
to
about,
this.
but.
It's a lot
Huh?
more to it.
People in money are economy so much.
Also, like he said, he wants to give $1,000 to everybody.
So, okay, here's my thing on marijuana. I equate it basically the same as cigarettes. So either make it all legal or make none of it legal.
Fair
And
enough.
we already get cigarettes legal, so why not just let everyone smoke pot?
Lobbyists.
Because
Yeah,
it's
it'd be
evil.
another cash crop.
Can you imagine the lobbyists for marijuana? Dude.
They wouldn't get anything done.
Let's lower the taxes on marijuana, man.
I mean, it's already
What are you
legal
doing?
anyway.
Having it go down.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're just worried about like this area.
Yeah.
So activate and reactivate and see what happens.
They like put that straight towards the city.
No. Read this. Which one is the one that's activated?
Oh, okay.
That's technically legal, that's like.
Okay, so deactivate, reactivate. Do you see anything moving over here?
Yeah. it's-
So you need to paint out that area.
Oh, it's touchscreen. That's right.
No, yeah, I know.
Um.
It was a fun school count everywhere.
Yeah.
But like, you know, still like cops legally have to.
Okay.
There you go.
Gotta go back to head BS.
Well, I mean,
And that's
It's under the inputs.
I mean, I'm just thinking from like.
It's under the
I
inputs.
was thinking about like legalization.
Input.
Brittany,
The what?
Yes.
inputs right here.
No,
Head
I'm
Okay.
BS.
saying, you know, like
Go down. There you go.
Like, they got like 30 million or 2 billion a year, and then put it towards the
The
city.
thing with that though, even though we legalized marijuana,
Okay.
most
Looks
cartels are still gonna.
looks good. You may want to go in and actually kind of paint out a little bit on the nose. We only need half the nose moving up.
Oh, okay.
So you may want to basically take out like the tip of the nose, and then take out some of that area right there. I wouldn't do it too harshly. I probably would go pretty light. Yeah, something like that. And then smooth.
Yeah.
Oops. I'm pressing.
So just go in and paint. Just go and smooth it. And I would just go kind of around this whole thing and just smooth it out a bit. So I want you to focus down here. There you go. Okay. All right, let's go and deactivate and reactivate and see how it looks. Tell me right here. Okay, let's take a look and see what happens.
In California, a bunch of cartel members went into the forest and made like acres of land just to breed, just to make
Yep.
And they'll get a
So
register
you need to
just-
paint out that area right there.
Here?
Yeah, the area that's moving.
Wait. Oh, okay, I see it.
That's me when Bryson doesn't grade me as harshly as I thought he would.
What?
That's me when you don't grade me as harshly as I thought you were. The half smile.
No, just a look of shock.
The look of shock.
Click on the mesh. Hit Q. Click. There you go. Now go back to your tool.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh no.
So you need to go back down to that blend shape. Okay. And go ahead and paint out the corner of the mouth. Sometimes when I grade there might be a curve.
Thanks for making me feel better. Thanks for hurting my ego.
That's what, I'd rather have a hurt ego than a bad feeling, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some of you in here are going, shit, there was a curve?
There was a curve?
Honestly, no, me. I was like, oh, I didn't do as good as I thought I did.
Nerd.
I was so happy because I thought I knew what I was doing.
Quietly from the back, nerd. Alright, so is it still activating?
Yeah, there's still a part of the lip that's still going nuts, so I'm
So it's right there in the corner?
yeah, I'm trying
Okay,
to get
let's
it.
get that out.
No, okay.
Yeah, you're in smooth, so you need to go and paint it out. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that one.
Alright. Alright, you're done. Go and deactivate, re-inactivate the last one for me.
Wait. Okay. Why isn't it not moving anymore?
Just go back to your tool. Go back to the cursor tool. Okay. So click on the mesh. There you go. Scroll down. Hit BS. Okay. So that one is off. So brow down. BS right one. Activate. There you go. Angry eyes. Thank you.
Pardon.
Nikki. Let's do it.
You got it.
Wasn't Trump supposed to be
He is being impeached right now.
Yeah.
Like they're going through. It's a long thing. It's a trial.
But, you know.
Impeaching does not mean being removed from office.
What?
It doesn't. You guys realize that, right?
Yeah, no, that's not what I mean.
Impeaching literally means they're just going to hold a trial. Like they're saying that you're going to be, we're going to review everything you're doing and just lay it out on the table. Then once the impeachment trial happens, then the Senate will decide his fate.
Yeah, but he'll probably resign so that he doesn't have to be recognized as the first president to be impeached. Because that's what.
He's not the first president to be impeached. He's like
No,
the fourth.
Well, okay, be impeached, but to be
Removed.
Yeah, removed from.
So I completely disagree with you.
Really.
He won't step down
Yeah, he won't.
because McConnell's not going to let him be removed.
Right.
But even if he does, even if McConnell does try to remove him, he's not going to step down before that.
Well, if he steps out, don't we have to deal with Pence? Go through all that again?
More radical.
Lesser to you.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. We have an election coming up, so
Yeah.
we'll let the system do its thing. All right. Paint out that angry eye. You got it. Come on, let's keep going. See that area right there, up around the eyebrow? Yeah, go and get that. No, impeachment does not mean you get kicked out. A lot of people think it does, simply because of Nixon. They thought that, because I thought that too, but it's not. There's still more steps, and we just have never gotten beyond that point. Because with Clinton, he was impeached, but he was found not guilty or whatever, but he was never kicked out. And let's see, so Nixon was before him. Who was before him? Johnson?
Yeah, that was Johnson.
Was it Johnson? It was impeached.
Before my time.
It was way before all of our times. It was like over 100 years ago. He was impeached, but he wasn't kicked out. He was just barely escaped being removed.
Yeah, most presidents decide to resign before because like it doesn't
He's the
work.
only one. Nixon's the only one I think that resigned during an impeachment. I don't think. I don't know. Look it up. Let's get actual history going.
Here's the
Yeah.
center.
Let's go ahead and deactivate and reactivate and see if anything moves. So bring it down, bring it back up. Not bad. You may want to go through and just smooth it out just a little bit. I don't see anything moving, but let's just smooth it, just to be sure.
Wasn't yeah, the
Okay.
nose a little bit.
What?
The nose is moving up.
Let's
a
see.
little.
Yeah, there's a little bit on the nose moving, so why don't you go ahead and paint that out too.
How could I do that?
Hmm?
How would I do that?
Just paint that half the nose. Just do your best.
You got it. You're doing great, sweetie. You got it.
Oh, if you're gonna pull you're doing great, sweetie. You gotta do like a super southern accent. You know, like a southern like waitress at a diner. You know.
There's also a soccer mom movie.
No. She's like, oh, how you doing, sweetie? You want some coffee? Apparently, the southern diner ladies from Boston.
That sounds like
Sounds like a
co-
Brooklyn
yeah,
name
coffee.
kind of
Coffee
thing.
sounds
Coffee.
like a East Coast kind of thing.
It's like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, you want some coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee?
Some coffee.
Coffee.
It's coffee.
All right, cool. Look good? All right. Go and activate our last one. Brow down, BS left. Right here. Activate it down the last one on the list.
He's gonna be like, no.
I know you know enough of this. Unless you don't,
Huh?
Oh,
but you
actually.
do.
Do you know what?
Maybe you do.
What? Paint with?
Isn't it like if somebody kind of talks with the accent, like their facial movements will probably be different too for them?
Might be a little bit.
Well, there's three scenes that you have to account for that.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Come on, just activate this one. Just put one right here. Okay. Why don't you go and pick the last person? Who's not gone? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Hi. Like you're reaching for a balloon. Who do you want?
I don't know the pity.
You got these people. Who do you want? You want him?
Wow. I get the pity point.
You're sweet. All right, come on. Come on up here. Thank you very much. Good job.
I just wanted to do some Bryson ASMR. Okay, that's it. I can't do it like
I
you.
can imagine if Bryson, I feel like if you took all
That's
of that,
like-
you should at least keep this one up just so your students can like hear this rant that we just
Oh,
Yeah, this has been a very interesting
Oh
class.
God, that's right.
Love.
That
Okay.
idiot. He thought Trump wasn't going to win the election. All right, so this is the left
Left
side.
side,
So go
dude.
and paint that out.
Do you notice you do that a lot with your hands?
Those-
During lectures. I
I should just have this be the first video that they watch. Like you're like, this is what we're gonna learn in the future. Like you just have to watch this video just so they can.
Why is there a 20-minute rant on politics in here?
Don't come to college.
And you get quizzed on the rant.
Oh god.
Like Shay's just
like a
on the
vote.
rant.
Were you paying attention?
Who are you going to vote for in 2020? Like
Can't-
none of the options are actually listed. Like no matter what you put, it's wrong.
Harambe.
Your grade is based on like.
It's just like Trump or Elizabeth Warren, and like no matter what you put, I just go wrong, and it should be Bernie or Beto.
Beto. Didn't he like
Yeah,
drop?
But not in my heart.
Not in my
Not in his head.
Didn't he actually like drop and go to the
Is that
hospital?
good?
or something?
He didn't drop dead. He ran out of money.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it was. He ran out of money.
No, I mean he got like really like medically like I thought he went through like some kind of heart thing.
Maybe, I don't know, but I just know he said he ran out of money, so.
I like how Bernie still as old as he is, and he's still like dealing with all this. I'm like, man, I just actually that strong.
That cool.
I mean Clinton also did that too. She
Yeah.
has some health problems as well.
What?
Cool.
Activate?
But she's also filthy. Like,
Perfect. Looks good. Thanks, sir. Good job, guys. I'll do this more often, make you guys come up here and do my stuff.
I'm here for it. I feel like skill learning.
Do we need community service hours?
Community service. Are you saying that you need community service
No,
hours?
I'm just saying if we do.
If you do?
Are we good for it?
I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put these guys on their own layer. This is some BS. All right, so the fun thing with these guys is if you activate them, if you need to do any editing or anything, or like kind of change the shape later on, this is still linked in. So if I go in and activate, let's do head smile BS left. Oh, that one to get painted out all the way. Anyway, so this one is head smile BS left. So if you want to go in and actually just kind of change up some of this position, it can actually still update. So if you need to go back and change something, like that's a possibility, okay? Additionally, if you want to kind of save a little bit of space on your rig, let's say if like the actual file size is getting quite large, you can delete these and the blend shape is still going to be stored. Okay, so you don't have to have these. Generally, I will probably keep these until I absolutely have to get rid of them, just because I'm one of those guys that likes to go back and like tweak things here and there whenever I need to. I guess I'm just anal that way. I really like to have that ability to go back and fix things. So anyway, this one, let me fix this real quick. So this was smile left, right? Yeah? Okay. Who was it that did this one? You did this one? Okay. Shame, you messed up.
Yeah.
It's good you pointed it out.
It's on the video. Everyone knows.
Your name's Will? Yeah. Oh man, you're famous. No. Please no. Oh, by the way,
Everybody looks at Will in their class.
if any of you guys upload any of these videos to YouTube, I'm coming after you. Because I'm going to upload them and I'm going to make all the money. It's my videos and my rants.
My
I mean, if someone uploads a video, you can hit the monetization.
But, you know, just to be sure, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You know what to do.
To be honest,
Wait, Bryson, also plug your website.
I'll be honest, our video would get demonetized for any, like you even say the word demonetized. This is a bad reputation.
All right, well, let's go and make sure it gets demonetized for a good reason. Nazis. Just go into a rant. You know, Hitler had a point. No. Gonna be sitting there with my like year-end review. On the idea surveys, we have here that you went in to talk about Nazis. What's the deal with that?
Also have audio proof.
I also have. I never talked about Nazis. Well, this video shows you did. You can't confirm it's me.
Talk about that Jojo Rabbit movie.
What?
I actually really kind of want to see that.
Yeah,
I do. I really want to see that. It looks really funny.
Make my ancestors scream on their graves, but yeah.
just thinking that.
That kid better become an animator. He'll be better than me. I hope.
Become an actual actor and then.
It's gonna be the just playing your lectures.
Are you saying that I'm so boring that I'll send you to sleep?
No.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, like.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and group this and copy it over. Oh, I forgot to maybe that shouldn't work.
Is that from the staircase you did?
Yeah.
Take a screenshot of that.
Modern art.
That is modern art.
No, it's not. It's garbage. Let's maybe take this down just to 1. 0, 0. Duplicate. There we go. Perfect. Brow left con. Brow right con. Mouth right con. Mouth left con. Okay. Alright. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to open up our set driven keys and basically just go and link all these together and get them to work. Okay? Just going to save it first. Alright, so let's do driver is going to be this controller, specifically the translates, and then driven is going to be head blend shape. Whenever you click on this, it's going to take a minute for it to load. I don't know why it takes a minute for it to load, but it always takes a little bit of time for it. I'm not sure why though. So just hang tight. But we're going to be basically assigning directions to the Y and X directions. So like for me with the mouse, I always do the wides to be left and right. And then, so like if the controller's here, if I move it this way, it'll activate the smooch. And then if I do this way, I'll do wide. And then up is going to be smile, and then down will be frown. And then anything in between that's going to be some sort of, weird expression.
It's almost like a Joy-Con controller-ish.
Yeah, kind of. All right, so let's do brow right con. That's going to be this guy. Brow right. Okay. So translate Y, brow up, BS con right. Translate Y. So it's not activated, so I'm going to go and click key. And then I'm going to go up to here, move this up to a value, basically to where this is even. Right there. I'm going to go brow up, BS right. Activate that, value of 1, and key again. Okay? So what I'm saying is basically at the center, it's going to be 0. And it's going to go up to 1. Okay? Okay. So let's go back to Y of 0. And then I'm going to do brow down, BS right. And then we'll do translate Y again. Key. Move this down. Make sure you're moving the controller down first before you activate. And then activate that. and key. So what we'll get is something that'll translate between the two, which is kind of cool, right? Yeah. Now you'll notice that it'll hit the neutral position right about here, and then it'll shift. So it kind of looks a little robotic. It's not terribly smooth. We can go into the graph editor and actually kind of mess around with that a little bit to get it to kind of overlap just a tiny bit with the keys, to where like they're both activated just a little tiny bit at Y0. So their true zero positions might be like positive 0.05 and negative 0.05. So I feel like that smooths it out just a little bit for me. All right, so let's do, so like for the brown, I mean, that's really all we have is just the up and down. If I had like a, you know, like you're pinching your brow or some other expression, then I could put that for the X and Y, okay? Or the X axis. So right now we really just have a Y axis. So let's go ahead and go over here to the mouth. And let's do, this is gonna be right. So we'll do a smooch and brow right is going to be the driver. It's going to be on the X, and we're just going to go ahead and hit key. And then I'm going to go to head BS. Smooch. And actually let's activate this all the way over. And we'll activate that and hit key. Okay, we're going to take this back to 0. And then we will go over to wide right, key. Move this over. Activate. Key. Okay. Let's test it. That's kind of cool. All right, so let's go ahead and do the smile and frown. Okay, so we'll do the frown. This is going to be on the translate Y. Go ahead and key. Move this down. There we go. Key. And then let's do a, bring this back to 0. And then we're going to do our smile right on the Y key. We'll go up. Activate. And key. Whew, okay. That's a lot of set driven keys. And we're only halfway done. That's pretty cool. Look at that. All right. So for this controller, I don't want the controller to be able to go outside of these bounds. Actually, for both of these controllers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and set my limiters. Okay? So we're just going to go ahead and move them up to the top. I'm going to go to the attribute, go to limit information, translate, and so I'm going to go ahead and do a translate limit on the, right here, translate limit on the Y for a max. Let's do the same thing for this one. So they can't go any further up. We'll do the same thing for down. Move that value over here. Okay. And then I need to do that for the x and y, or x-axes. So we'll do x over here. So that's going to be negative 37.37, I mean. And then we'll bring it over. Make sure this one. And this one both have it. And bring them over here. And we'll go and load that. Okay. Okay. And I probably don't really need these to be moving at all on the z-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just load up value of 0 for both. Because we don't need it to move back and forward. We don't have an expression that's needed for that. If you have extra blend shapes, maybe you do. Maybe you'll have like phonemes or something that we use to activate for that. But whatever. All right. So go and test it. Cool. That looks good. And to be honest, like, this really honestly just probably needs to go up and down. You don't even need to have it go left or right. But if you had more expressions, obviously you have that ability.
When the face is in that frown and it kind of cracks, like when it's in that extreme frown,
Mm-hmm.
like how would you smooth that out? Would you go into the blend shape and like fix that with the weight?
Honestly, this is just because you're doubling up on 2 blend shapes, and maybe you just don't go that far. Maybe you just go to something that feels more natural like that. So this is just too far of an expression, but you know, then you just pull it back. You just go to whatever's natural. Okay? All right. We're going to do the other side. When I say we, I mean y'all. Okay. So let's go ahead and, you know what? Who hasn't gone? Raise your hand. One up. So we're going to be doing set-driven keys. So we're going to be doing the left side. So let's go and do the eyes. I'll have you do we'll do the eye up. So we need to go ahead and make sure you load the right driver.
Load the right driver.
Uh-huh. So right now we have, yep, there you go. And we already have driven loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Huh? What are you doing?
Oh, wait.
What are we doing?
I have no idea, to be
You have
honest.
no idea?
No.
So you're not, all this time you haven't been paying attention?
I was trying to.
Okay, does anyone want to help him out?
You already set the driven.
Hang on, one at a time.
You already set the driven of the left.
Of what? What this one?
So he's got the left con selected. So we're doing brow up. Okay, good.
Up.
What is that going to be driven by?
Or Y.
Translate Y. All right. So what does he got to do?
Yeah, over there.
Go back over to your set driven key.
And translate Y.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. What does he do next?
Driven should be.
He's got the right one.
So now you gotta move the controller.
Nope.
Set the key first.
Yeah, you're just hitting key.
So key.
There you go. Now what does he do?
So you move it up to the horizontal line.
There you go. Make sure it's even like the top of that box. Yeah, so that midline is like just right even with it. There you go.
So now to outputs.
What are we doing?
That's space bar.
I'm just trying to make it easier for me to see it. Okay, now what?
All right. So what does it do now?
So AFBS under outputs. Up to the other side.
Yeah, it's
Brow up left.
Yes.
So it's
Okay.
so you activate it. Set key.
What, set key? So just click key.
There you go.
Alright, let's go ahead and test it, make sure it works. So grab your controller,
Yeah.
just move it up and down.
Yeah.
Looks like it's working. Alright, go ahead and zero out the translate X and Y on it for me. Okay. And we will move on to someone else. Thank you, sir. Alright, go ahead and pick the next victim that hasn't gone yet.
Probably.
So are we moving it down?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have the left.
Yeah, there it is. Very bottom.
Brow down, and it was I hit key, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, we need to set that zero position first.
Yeah, and then
we need to, there's something right before what you're doing now. It's one more
Oh.
step. There you go. Okay, you're good?
is should it, 1 or -1?
It's one.
Okay.
Yep, we're disactivating.
There we go.
And then
Key.
key. Alright, go and test the whole thing for me. Just move it up and down for me.
Yeah.
Yay!
Could we set the constraints on the controller before we start doing keys?
Okay, very good. Thank you. Pick your next victim.
I don't know.
Who hasn't gone? You have these two.
Josh.
Delet, did you go? Yeah. So it's just Sydney that's left? Yeah, okay. So we're actually done with the eye.
You are?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
So we need to work on the mouth now.
Okie doke.
Okay. So that's gonna be your new driven, right? Or driver or driven? Driver. So we need to load that as the driver. Okay. And so we're gonna be doing,
Brow
let's
up.
do smooch. I'm gonna have you do actually both the smooch and the wide.
Okay.
So that's gonna be, left, smooch. There you go.
Alright.
And that's gonna be on what axis? We're moving left and right.
At the x-axis, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we move anything,
Set key.
set key.
Yeah.
Alright, now,
And then we find it and press 0.
nope, we got to go over to the controller, move it in.
There we go.
Yep, move. Okay,
Move it in.
and then go ahead and go to your outputs.
Brow smooch.
It'll be one of the blue ones.
Smooch left. I'm doing the wide as well for left.
Yeah,
Okay.
want to do wide?
Okay. So wide. 0 out. Key. Then right. Wide. Wait.
Okay, you want to test it? Good, excellent.
Sweet.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Who's left?
So you're up. So you're gonna be doing the frown and smile. Who wants to set the limits? Alright, you'll do limits.
It's left. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So what is that going to be? Hang on. What is the controller going to be? What direction is it going in order for it to activate the frown and the smile?
Why?
Exactly. Good. All right. Go ahead and move the controller down, and go ahead and activate your balloon shape.
That's right. Okay.
There you go. Go ahead and key it again. All right, good. Let's go ahead and move the controller back to 0. Excellent. So it's going to be smile left key, and then we'll go ahead and move that up.
Oops.
Go ahead and move the controller up for me.
Here. Yeah, I touched something.
Yeah, you had it on the frown BS left. Now just make sure you have the smile. So I thought you had the smile before, didn't you?
Yeah, she pressed the key and pressed it on the button.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright, so make sure you activate the smile. I think it's the 5th one down. Yeah, smile left. There you go. Excellent. Key. Alright, test it. Excellent. Now, just go ahead and roll that thing around. Just move it in all directions. Excellent. Do I have limiters on this one already?
No.
No? Okay. Alright, you're good. Good job. Alright. These limitations.
It's under attributes, right?
Yes, sir. So I like to move these both together so that you get the same value. So grab the other controller. Okay, so let's just move it to the right. Alright, so we're getting a translate limit x value of negative 0.36. So is that going to be a minimum or a maximum? Negative 0.36? Minimum. So you're going to go ahead and transfer that into the minimum value. There you go. And go ahead and check off translate limit x. Click on the other controller. So click on the one on the bottom because that one didn't get it loaded. There you go. And do the same thing. Load it. Activate. Check.
Okay.
Good job. All right. Go ahead and move them back over to the left so we get our maximum value. Okay. And so we need to load that as a max. Go ahead and check. Grab the other controller, do the same thing.
Okay. I didn't recognize it because it was kind of like.
You got the head geometry. We'll go with that. Okay. Done. All right, let's go ahead and do translate y. So move them both up to the top. Excellent.
That's a
So that's a
positive.
positive value. So let's go ahead and load it into the positive max. Okay, check. Grab the other controller. Just click. Click on the controller. There you go. You gotta load that. Great. What do we do now? Took my cookie. translate on the Z. So I would just go ahead and load 0 into both. So just check. Check both. Yeah, there you go. Do it. Come on, do it. You got it. And check. And do the other one. Okay, you're good.
Do I set it back to 0?
Yeah, if you would, please.
Cool.
Okay, thanks, sir. All right. What?
I think this way is a lot better having this to do it.
I think so too.
Yeah, I like this way.
All right. I got one more I need to do. That's going to be the blink. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the eye controller right here. You want to do it? Okay, you're going to have to make an attribute and set a driven key. Oh. Come on.
Let's not keep it.
So let's make a controller for the, or let's make an attribute for the controller, I guess I should say. So how do we do it?
Oh my god.
So what will this one be called? Link.
Right.
And what will our values be? 0 and 1.
1?
Does it matter if it's 0 and 10? Or 0 and 100?
Yeah.
Or 0 and 7?
No, there's no 1. Oh,
Just
okay.
0 and 1's fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
None of it really matters.
It'll
Just,
just have like more like in between, right?
yep, we got it. All right, so blink. So that's going to be our new driver. So you need to load that into the set driven key. So go ahead and click load driver.
Wait. Is the eye closed? Or
Mouth left con didn't go away. Did you click load driver? Click on, yeah, there we go. All right. So click blink. What's up?
The top.
The bottom
New
of the
driver
top.
should be bottom.
bottom of the top?
Actually, you know what? We did do a left and a right.
Yeah.
So actually, let's go back to the attribute editor and add a blink. Just do like a blink R.
Okay.
So we should have like a blink left and a blink right.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I skipped on that.
You're good. What is it? So
And is it gonna be group these in the beginning?
What?
Is it gonna be like group them? Cause there's like 3 controllers, the middle one's a controller, and the left one.
Now, the reason why I would have a blink left and a blink left and a blink right, but I'm putting them on the middle controller, is because I like to have blinking in one place. So I want to be able just to quickly activate both of them at the same time. I don't want to have to click on like multiple controllers to get the blinks. So that's what I like to do. It's just a lot faster for me.
so would it be Y?
You got a new blink?
Hmm?
Okay, so you got to reload the driver. There you go. Alright, so we'll just say blink is blink left.
Okay.
So there you go. Eye closed.
Do I key now?
Yeah, go and key it.
Alright.
And then let's go and activate. Well, we're not moving anything.
Not moving anything. Okay.
Yeah, we're not moving anything.
Gotcha.
So go ahead and activate. Go to blink. Actually, go to blink and activate that blink
Blink.
for the controller.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
So
Blink.
we're gonna activate that first. So it's just one.
Oh my god.
No, wrong controller, man. You gotta get the middle bar.
Hate my life.
All
Alright.
Put one.
Yes.
There you go. Now let's go back to the head BS.
Uh huh.
Okay. What do you do now?
I close left 1, or
Yes.
left 1. Yes.
There you go.
Oh god.
All right. Now you got to
Key.
key.
All right.
All right. So let's go ahead and do the same thing again. Click on R. Blink R. Nope. Nope, nope, nope.
Oh no.
Nope.
Blink R and the driver.
We gotta do the set on the driver.
Oh shit.
Up
This
at the
one.
top. I'm pointing, but he's looking at the screen.
Oh.
I'm not doing this.
Wait, okay.
Top driver.
The blink
Blink R under your driver.
Link R on the driver.
I can
Alright.
feel the panic in your brain. Okay.
It's the third.
It's not this one?
No, I'm saying under outputs.
Outputs, third one. Okay.
Okay. You gotta activate it after you set the initial key. So go to blink R
Yeah.
and
Okay.
your controller. Set it to 1.
Do I set this to 0 or?
It doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
blink R, set it to 1.
Okay.
Go to eye closed right.
Yeah, close right.
Okay. Set that to 1. Okay.
Thank you.
Key. Alright, let's test this. So click the controller. Okay, go to blink for the left. Set it to 0.
Yay.
Hot damn. Alright, make them blink. Grab both of them. So select both. And then go over here, middle mouse drag left and right.
Yeah.
Yay! Woo! It's like I'm talking to you guys through like diffusing a bomb. Alright, I'm gonna go and take all 4 of these. I'm going to parent them. I'm going to go and take all of this. Lock and hide it. We don't need any of that. For these, we don't need any of this. Lock and hide. I literally just need translate X and Y.
How do you find them after you said you wanted to use?
They're gone forever. Unless you go down to right here and then you go to publish, unlock published. Where is it? Is it channel names?
Channel control, I believe.
Channel control, that's it, yeah. Thank you.
So with all those controllers, can you just select all the balls and hide it one time, like instead of doing that 4 times?
Yeah, but I'm doing this so you guys actually remember it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's test this. Move around, looks good. All right. We already have a jaw control we put in last class. Yeah. Well, we have the joints all hidden, so but it does work. All right. What's left? Skinning. So let's go ahead and skin. So the joints I want this to skin to are basically all of them. So you know what? We'll just go and do all of them.
Even the joints like outside the eyes, like little eye controllers.
Yeah, I'm gonna paint them out anyways. Okay. Fine skin. Works. That's not actually scanned anything yet. Alright, I'm gonna have the eyeball. Let's do. Come on. Skin it to that one. Actually, no, I don't need the entire thing. Let me do. Skin, fine skin. Fine skin. There we go. So it should just follow. And then we'll do this one, same thing. Yeah, or, I mean, honestly, either way works. It's just trying to get it selected. We'll see if this will make it follow. Yeah, the eyes do follow. So the hair really honestly only needs to follow like basically just this joint. Like that's it. It's not really going anywhere else, so we'll just make it follow that. Nope. I'm skinning. I'm just hitting G to redo the skin. Okay. And he has his little teeth bars. So you could, okay, a couple ways you could do this is you could skin it, or you honestly could do like a parent constraint and just parent constraint it to, let's say, the head joint and the jaw pivot joint. Or you could do like a wrap deform and have it like wrap deform to the inside of the mouth. I would probably do just a parent constraint or do skinning. Okay, I would just keep it simple.
What's the rough, how would you go about doing a
Wrap deform. So wrap deform is, well, let me just show you. Have I explained wrap deformers before? Not really? Okay. So a wrap deformer is basically a rapper that does yoga. That one was good. I don't care who you are. All right. Okay, so let's just say that like we have this mesh that we need to wrap deform to this mesh right here. So what we can do is pick the two meshes, go under deform, wrap, and then what will happen is the parent mesh will deform the child mesh. Maybe I actually had it selected separately. Let me do it this way. So it'll actually make the other one follow along with it. And that's what a wrap deformer does. It's really nice if you have like a skin tight suit that you need to like basically attach to the body. If you have like armor plating or really just anything that just needs to stick like at a 1-to-1 ratio with the body and move with it. So it works really, really well. I've used them before with like, I did like a pangolin character that had like these plates that went along the back, and I just needed them just to stick there, and the wrap deformer was a really good method to do that. Yeah.
So, is there also weights involved with this as well? So like
No.
Do that. So,
No, it's just whatever's closest.
okay.
Yeah, I think there is some ability to go in and do some painting, but really this is just meant to just stick to the surface, and that's it. It's a vertice diversity type thing. So that's pretty much a wrap deformer. So you could do the teeth to where it would like stick to the inside of the mouth, but his mouth is so small that might cause a lot of issues because then they'll just freak out and get all kind of gummy and not very good. Okay. Alright, so I guess we just gotta go in and do some paint weighting and take a look at this and see what we got. So first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and test the mouth. On a scale of 1 to how bad is this gonna be? It's not even moving yet. Interesting. Okay. Let me check this, see what we got. That's interesting. Why is it not doing all the joints? Okay, for some reason it didn't bring up all the joints. I'm gonna have to add these in.
Yeah, that happens. I think on the last one that happened to mine sometimes too. Like even though I know I clicked all the joints in the outlier, it would still refuse to bring some up.
Okay, well, let's just force it then. I'm gonna go to skin, unbind skin. And I'm gonna go just grab the joints one by one. Let's start here. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. So. That's weird. So it's only got the null joint, the skull, mid skull, and eye pivots. Why is it not doing the neck? That's really weird. Alright, let me see if I can just add these in one by one. Alright, skin, edit influence. Going to add. Okay, neck base, there we go. So we got the neck base, neck mid, neck top, head, mid skull, left pivot. So I need to add in these two. Okay. What else are we missing? So we got the jaw pivot, jaw tip, eye pivots, and I don't think I have the head top joint. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Alright, so I think we're good. Say what? No, we hadn't skinned anything last class. Are you talking about the joints?
Is that like on the default file? Like,
no, we did all this last class.
No, I meant like the tool settings for those like attributes. Are those like
This is just the bones.
Oh, okay, no.
You know, like you've been working with so far.
No, I thought that was
Okay. Alright. Alright, neck base. Let's go and paint in influence for that. Place value.
So
Mid is just going to go through here.
does it
It will get smoothed. I'm just throwing in the initial weight. Let me go and hide the hair also. Okay. The head null, let's leave that alone. Head tip, we will give that pretty much everything on the top of the head. And also we'll do the ears. Okay. We'll go and smooth that. Smooth. Smooth. And smooth. See how that moves. Better. And better, but not great. So we got some weirdness going on here. Okay, that looks way better. All right, and we'll smooth this real quick. These guys are getting hits on something that's making them kind of pop up a little bit. Wait, there we go. But they're not going completely down, so they're getting a hit on something else also. Okay. Ah, it's gorgeous. Except for that. What the hell is that? On his chin?
It's like a really weird looking
Get out of here. Nobody wants you. I heard my name.
No, I was tired.
Are you writing a paper? Or are you just drawing a paper? Oh. Okay. Alright, so neck looks good. Okay. So head tip top. Let's do jaw pivot. I'm actually going to go and bring down my opacity a little bit, and then we'll just go and kind of paint this in.
Why did you increase the opacity?
So I can kind of layer it in so I don't go too high too quickly. Alright, let's see how awful this looks when I try to open it. Blah. Alright, but that way, nothing was painted up here for the jaw pivot, so what do you think is going on? From what?
Top of it.
But the top of the head joint's not moving.
Or like the middle of the eye joints.
Nope. Eye joints aren't moving. What's the only other joint that's moving if the jaw pivot hasn't been influenced? Probably the jaw tip. Yeah. Jaw tip is like give me all of your influence. Alright, let's paint that back in.
I remember when we were doing heat waiting for the other rig, the mouth, it was tearing.
Blah.
All the way? Oh, there it goes.
Alright. Get out of here.
Oh wow. It's a whole nother show.
He's interesting because his lips actually cut through each other just a little bit. And so they're going to be a little bit harder to work with. Because you have geometry that's just like right on top of each other. So I'm going to just flip between both of these and just basically take influence out on their opposing joints. So I'm going to switch over to like head tip like I'm doing right now, kind of removing any influences over here. And then I'll flip back over and pull out the influence from the other one. That poor kid. He really needs some dental work. All right.
Like the cleft lip.
There it is.
We're getting there. So that's not actually bad. That's kind of working out pretty well. Smooth this a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't look good. So you guys remember what I was telling you about the mouth is kind of like a rubber band, and how when you move the top, it's going to move the bottom a little bit too, and it's going to move the corners quite a bit. So there's basically wherever you move like one part of your lip, it's going to kind of sort of affect everything else. So like it's okay to have a little bit of influence from the top down on the bottom. Not so much that like when you open it, it's going to like egregiously move that lip around, but it's okay to like have a kind of rubber band just a little bit. Like we should have that. We don't want it to be like a robot. Just realized this kid doesn't have a tongue. I should have given him a tongue. Get out of here. That's not bad. It's not bad for 10 minutes of work. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And with the mouth open, we could still do the butt shapes, right?
Yep. Let's test it, see if it works. There you go. We can do them. All right. Let's do the eyes. Eye pivots. Eye pivot left, eye pivot right. Lower that opacity, give that a nice value. So it's going to be left. Just a tiny bit. And eye pivot right. test it. And then close, and then test again. All right, then we'll go and do the nose. Do I have a nose? I have a nose, right? Oh, I didn't put the nose joint in here. Okay. All right, let's do the nose. Yeah, okay. Skin, edit, add. There we go. I mean, that's really probably to the extent anyone can move their nose, right? Just a tiny bit. Can anyone do anything better than that? That would be a blend shape. You could do a blend shape for that. But I'm good with this. All right, let's go ahead and worry about the teeth now. Let's make them, let's do, teeth. Let's see, do I have a group for these, or are they just by themselves? Char group, geo group. Okay, teeth upper. All right, I'm gonna actually group the teeth, upper teeth to themselves, and I'll explain why in a second. I'm gonna do the same thing for the lower teeth. And then I'm gonna group both of these together. So they'll just be a teeth geo group. All right, let's center pivot. Center pivot. Center pivot. Pivot, center pivot. All right, so I'm going to be using basically this group to parent it to the joint. The reason why is because I want the teeth geometry to have a little bit of freedom, so that if I'm opening the mouth and the teeth are like clipping through the top of the mouth, or I need them to lower down or something, I at least am able just to grab the geometry and bring it down. I can't do that if it's skinned, and I can't do that if it has a parent constraint. So we're using the offset group to give me that ability. Cool? All right, teeth group. Let's grab the joint. We'll do this one. Grab the group. Go to constrain parent. And then I'll do jaw pivot. Teeth lower. G. So now when I open and close the mouth, I don't know what the hell happened with that, but anyway, you'll see that the teeth will move along with it. Okay? What the hell happened? I just did all that work. That damn jaw pivot. Get out of there. Alright, I'm gonna lock it. Alright, I really don't have enough time to go back and repaint it, but you guys get the idea. So, All right, basically at this point, I would say that the rig is pretty much done. Everything is working. I'd have to just go in and kind of finish out the paint weights, make sure that they're still functioning all together. But really, otherwise, that's pretty much what you would do to rig a face. Now, some options we could go to bring this a little bit more into a more useful rig. What else can we do for this? So, one thing we could do is we could put joints in the lips. Usually what I might add is a center joint for the top and bottom, and then 2 joints in the left and right for the upper and bottom lips. So you basically would have like 6 joints total, and then you might have 2 extra joints for the corners. So it would look like you'd have a ring of joints going around the lips. Okay? Now, those are really useful because if you add controllers to them, they give you a degree of flexibility from the blend shapes. So we could activate a blend shape, and then on top of that, maybe make the smile a little bit more curlier. Or maybe for a smooch, I can drag the lips out a little bit further and peel the lips out, where he's doing more of like a cartoony Sylvester the cat, kiss, where he's trying to smooch on one of the, what was it, the skunk or something? He thought was like a female cat. You guys remember that Looney Tunes, right? Was it Pepe Le Pew? I thought there was one was it Pepe that thought that Sylvester was a female skunk?
No, not Sylvester and Pepe.
Okay.
Cat was a female skunk. It was another unnamed female cat character.
Okay. Anyway, there's a cartoon. Anyway, what I'm just getting at is you could pull the lips out and do one of those types of shapes if you needed to. So joints in the lips are really useful for that. You could put in a couple joints in the cheeks, say like a lower and a mid. So if you needed to really push kind of the squinty-eyed smile, like you really just everything's just kind of scrunching if you're smiling really hard. Maybe if you're chewing, maybe you want a joint here to kind of do a chewing motion. Brow joints, you may put in maybe a center and then 3 brow joints, like one here, one in, one mid, and one outer on each side. So then again, you could just accentuate the movement. So you got all sorts of options. To go even further than that, and this is not, we're just kind of chatting here. We're going to require you to do this, but you could do basically the equivalent of a ribbon spine, but on a mouth or on a face. And so there's curved facial rigging. So if you use NURBS curves, you could actually create a facial rig that if you pull on a corner of the mouth, the entire face kind of goes over with it, or it deforms a little bit more naturally. And so that's pretty cool looking too. Definitely recommend looking up a rig with that, or maybe how to do that. So you can go a lot further with it. This is just super duper basic. All right. Any questions at this point? Okay. Are you guys confident you can get this done by Monday? I see some people going, you don't feel like you're confident? Why are you not confident?
A lot of stuff to do over the weekend. To get an A or a B type of quality. It's a lot of stuff to crank over the weekend.
It is. It is. Is there anything specifically you feel uncomfortable with?
I feel comfortable with the aspect of doing it. It's just the time that it takes to. I can't do it as fast as you can, so it takes me double time to do it all the time.
Okay. We'll just replay the video at 1/2 speed.
I can't. I don't think we can change the speed yet.
I have no idea.
Seriously, Bryson, plug your website, plug your 3D videos.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not crossing those streams.
The first video that we uploaded of how to get the joints and stuff in for the page.
That video exists.
Can't we extend it to Wednesday?
No.
No, that's final time.
Tuesday.
No. We don't have class on Tuesday. Really, of all the assignments, this is the one you want to extend till Wednesday?
I would have said probably the last
No,
one.
we said the hard one.
No, I definitely can't extend this one to Wednesday because I'm assigning the final on Monday.
I'm scared if you.
I will tell you what I'm doing. What you guys are doing for the final.
We're rigging a whole thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a selection of characters that you can choose from. Each one will have their own pros and cons, and you will have to rig them. And there will be a set of requirements that each rig has to have. Can you guess what those requirements will be?
Rivet's fine. IK switch. Legs.
Yeah.
Moving legs.
Specifically,
IK legs.
IK reverse foot setup legs.
Yeah.
And then a facial rig. Yeah. So stuff we've already miraculously covered. But then you're going to have to address anything extra that might be in the character. Because these characters will be different from each other. And they'll have their own unique things you'll have to figure out how to rig.
I think the hardest
It's really about as far as I can say about it.
would be if you had like animal face, trying to do a face rig for an animal.
Not really. It's the same setup.
Yeah.
It's just, what kind of expression does that animal make? It's just, you just do what feels natural with that character.
The horses even smile.
They sure as hell do in some of the, what was it? Spirited Away. Spirit of the Cimarron or whatever the hell that movie was. Oh, that movie sucked. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that DreamWorks? Early DreamWorks?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, early DreamWorks sucked. Except for Shrek.
I was really
I like Prince of Egypt though.
Yeah, Prince of Egypt was good. The back half was good.
You didn't like it?
I don't like, but I don't like that kind of, I'm not big in that film anyway, so whatever. Yeah, so anyway, that's basically going to be the final. You guys will have maybe 3, maybe 4 rigs to choose from. I got at least 2 or, huh?
Oh, I thought we were doing like multiple.
No. God, no. No, and you guys will have like 4 weeks to work on it. Yeah.
I feel like they're expecting us to mess it really bad on certain places at the beginning of the 4 weeks.
It is, okay, so this is what I used to do for the final. I used to have the students model their own character, and then they had to rig it.
I would have died.
And then it was made clear that you guys could not do that.
Yeah,
So then what I had was students, I may open this up, like if the character you modeled in the first half, like around midterm, is in good shape, then I might let you guys also rig that. So I may have that, but one of the things was I had students, like specifically they had to use their character. We quickly realized that not everyone has characters that are riggable. So we didn't do that. So yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm just gonna be giving you guys models that are familiar with me. I know exactly what I'm looking for with them. And I'm literally gonna have a grade sheet that's like everything I need, and there'll even be like point values on it that I'm looking for. So yeah. All right. You guys got this. You'll be fine.
Final or is this?
Both.